Run it back. Do we run it back? Do we go off and back on?
Mic check.
Do you hear us now? Now you figured it out. Now we're good. You want to restart it?
Or are they doing a bit?
No, it's almost like it's a bit. And we actually did start on time and cashed the plus 300. All right.
Okay, so for those listening, that was a bit. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed that.
God, you good. You should have seen the look on your face.
This is real avant-garde, next level stuff. You'll catch up one day.
It would have been super embarrassing for us if we didn't mean to do that. You want to do the show start again?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the CanesInSight Daily Podcast, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. They were taking bets in the comments if we were going to start on time, cash those bets. There was no category about or criteria that had to be with the sound on. We were visual on time at 1:30. We are rocking and rolling here in Casa Cultura.
Yeah. Pete, now that we fixed the audio, hop in, Bright Eyes.
So should we give them the Jeremiah Smith news now?
You already gave it to him.
That was the top of the show. Great scoop. Excellent reporting by Peter Ruiz on top of it, as always.
Looking good, fellas. We got CJ Bailey coming in, Jeremiah, Isaac Brown.
Yep.
Look good.
Don't repeat it. They didn't hear it. They didn't hear it. That's for the people that were early.
True.
I don't like their tone in the comments when we disappoint them even a little bit. They should understand that we're not a first-class operation over here.
Triple reverse screen to your mom's house from Nando. How are we feeling, Mike? Just overall.
I feel fantastic, dude. Look, Pete speaks to it pretty eloquently when he's Postgame Pete, hashtag Postgame Pete. Miami is so good that they are beating teams out of the AP top 25, and they're changing the narrative around these teams. I know Florida State's offense has put up numbers. I know that offense to get results and to be good. Now, good compared to Miami is a different thing entirely. But we saw this at spring camp, and we certainly saw it in fall camp. It's got to look a certain way. It was looking a certain way. That's why when Notre Dame fell to 0-1 and even 0-2, I knew Notre Dame would be good because that team had fight and they hung around with the big dogs because Miami is good.
The biggest dog.
The biggest dog. Name the other teams with 3 ranked wins, folks. There isn't. Now, are there teams in this country that can beat the Miami Hurricanes, especially on a neutral field? No doubt. There's probably about 5 of them. And we'll see. The ACC has always been tough. If I put you on Truth Serum, D-Money, is there a team you think that can go undefeated? Right now, they're all plus juice, but I will tell you the team that has got the best odds to go undefeated, it's not a surprise, it's Miami Hurricanes. But really, when we look at parity and we look at the nation, it's hard to wrap your brain around a team going undefeated, right? So I'm saying that because I expect a loss at some point, but the teams that were most capable on Miami's schedule to hand out that loss are now in their rear view mirror. So why not us? Why not us?
Well, I mean, look, Oregon went undefeated last year, lost in their first playoff game. As you know, I hate this format. I think it sucks. Otherwise, if this was normal college football, we'd be writing our ticket right now. Be like, all right, we just got to win every game as a 10-point favorite and then go to the championship and we'd be feeling great. Now you got really 3 seasons as described. My guy, Coach, I forget his name. Someone on Twitter said this perfectly. And I want to give you credit because this was exactly perfectly said. You got 3 seasons. You got the rival state champion season. Miami won. Their rivals are decimated. They all want to fire their coach. They're holding on to, I don't know, garbage time trophies, beat ourselves trophies. I don't know what a beat ourselves trophy looks like, but FSU has that trophy on their trophy case.
It's like the MacGuffin. They've held it two weeks running.
They've been beating themselves for a minute here. So FSU, done. Florida, they want to fire their coach. Maybe they want to keep him. I hope they keep him.
I hope they're doing this let's save Billy thing again. It's really worked out for us. So let's look at that line. That line, very tight in College Station. Kind of got the feels that they're going to be fighting for their old ball coach again. I don't mind that.
We should do a save Billy campaign, a save Norvell campaign. It'd be like what they did with Lolita at the Seaquarium. You know what I mean? That was very effective. Whatever they did, we got to do. Get a Netflix documentary, get some signs. Let's save the coaches, save Billy, save Mike Norvell. But they're done. And then Notre Dame, a worthy adversary, but took a tough loss to the Canes, a game that Miami controlled the whole way through.
Yeah, maybe we see them again, and I'll be interested to see that matchup again down the line. Notre Dame's a good team; they're going to figure it out. Again, like Miami, their toughest games are in their rear view mirror. They gotta hope that USC kind of remains relevant and kind of runs the table themselves, because like the signature win, the CFP sometimes considers good losses, quality losses more than quality losses more than wins, because you could actually look at Notre Dame's schedule and say, who are they actually going to beat? They kind of need USC to be very good when they match up with them, because if they don't have that, you can have quality losses all you want. That being said, I find it hard to believe that if there's 2 losses by a combined total of 4 points on Notre Dame's season, I don't see the college football playoff committee keeping them out.
No, they're going to be one of the 12 best teams. As we see here, an AI secret agent of some sort, or a secret service agent, holding the FSU undefeated against every team except themselves trophy. Shout out to FSU on this prestigious honor.
Hey, can I ask
2-0 against themselves?
Let me ask you a question. We all love David Lake. I think he and Gabby do a tremendous job with the Through the Smoke podcast. It's all one big family here in Canes content creation.
Great rant.
Except for that one guy. But there is he had his most recent pod on the state of Florida State football. And he made some really compelling arguments. Now, you've been banging this drum on Mike Norvell ignoring the high school ranks. And I'm pretty sure those checks have been cashed, and we've seen those now play out on the field. There is a great deal of distance between Miami and Florida State right now, and that's because, look, you can knock Mario Cristobal's game management. Those people that are still holding on to those arguments have not paid attention to the last 2 years. The only way that he's going to prove you wrong is by winning a national title. That's how bad the Georgia Tech thing was. We get it. But the guy is an absolute genius when it comes to talent acquisition. And sure, talent acquisition, what's so hard about looking at blue chippers? Okay, what about the Malachi Tonys of the world? The 3-stars, the Bryce Fitzgeralds, the guys that you put a premium on from inside the state. I'll tell you, Mario Cristobal is a genius about talent evaluation. What I'm saying is Mike Norvell lacks all that juice.
Yep.
He lacks all that juice. He may look like a CEO when things are going good. He may sound like he's the right man for the job. Struggles with adversity, struggles in this whole talent acquisition thing. Small mind. I think David Lake pointed out a lot of great things.
Very small mind.
Not David Lake. David Lake.
David Lake's got a big old brain, because he pointed out, like, in terms of high school recruits that Mike Norvell has developed into the pros, two that got drafted.
And none on the way.
And none. It doesn't seem like any on the way.
We count Daryl Jackson, I guess, but he's back and forth.
But he didn't recruit him.
He's a transfer from wherever he was from. He was
Maryland.
Was he Maryland and then by way of Miami? So you got to question if Mike Norvell is the right man for the job. If you're a Florida State Seminole, us Miami Hurricanes guys down here, we love him.
He's right where he needs to be.
He is perfect. But I'm curious. You've seen this. You've been boots on the grounds and seen these recruiting battles. You and Peter have reported extensively on these things. I got to imagine you're sitting up high on your perch, knowing this day would come.
I mean, they were 2-10 last year, so this day's been coming. They suck.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people were talking like, well, look, one off season and they fixed it.
No. I mean, they didn't bring anybody in good. So I think it's twofold. Just like David outlined, and that's a great rant if you haven't seen it right at the end of his last pod. High school, they've been terrible. We've known that for a while. The whole story with Norvell was, hey, he's a bad high school recruiter, but the guy kills it in the portal. He really was a one-hit wonder in the portal. He had a great eval on Jordan Travis. I don't know if he knew how good Jordan Travis would be if he just took him, but someone that we liked in high school, Pete, and we got posts talking about him back in 2017 and saying Miami should have gotten him that year. So see, the talent's been there. Norvell made a good evaluation. It didn't work at Louisville, put him in. That was a good, buy low. The other guys were guys that they just had a good rap on. Fisk, Verse, everybody wanted those guys. It wasn't like those guys were diamonds in the rough when they came in the portal. Out of high school, yes, but not in the portal. So I don't know what allowed him to win those recruiting battles. Keon Coleman, same thing. Keon Coleman, everybody wanted at Michigan State. Whatever momentum they had at that point with these portal kids, it worked then.
Keon Coleman doesn't seem to rep them whatsoever.
Yeah, I hear him talk more about the Undertaker and coming out through the smoke than any kind of FSU stuff when I hear him in interviews. But the Knowles have not won those battles in the portal. So forget high school, which is terrible, as David outlined. Their portal recruiting has been awful. And everybody they have on this team, Castellanos, bargain bin.
Llanos.
He got 2 L's, so he's Llanos. Bargain bin. The offensive line, I mean, bargain bin across the board. None of those guys would be in our 2 deep. Tight end, never heard of him. Deuce Robinson, good, even though he was the 4th receiver on USC. That was good.
Pittman, you're still on this anti-Pittman train. He's
just nothing
solid.
special. He's
a
not special.
solid player.
And then defensive line, the guy from Nebraska, the white guy, is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
One of the lowest motor white defensive ends I've seen in my day. He sucks.
That's rare.
You're
big on these tropes.
He sucks.
Yeah,
that guy,
a low motor white defensive end. Come on, what are we doing?
That's like a low character Mormon, like Zach Wilson, the red flag of all time. But anyways, so he sucks. The other defensive lineman, I couldn't tell you what they do. The linebacker is terrible. Defensive, and then the guys they got in the secondary were nobodies. And we went through it, Pete. Remember, we walked through their secondary because we said before. By the way, I'll give credit to Michael Ryan Ruiz right here. You said the game plan is going to be bombs away. Mm-hmm. And we said on the podcast before that we had Carson Beck as our player of the game just because that's how the matchups were going to go. FSU had nobody. Earl Little, who'd never played. They got a guy who never played and thought he was a 5-star. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing I'll throw at you, Mike. Are we sure that Norvell's actually a good coach? Like, forget the recruiting and the getting the players in. Are we sure this guy's a good coach? Because I see Marvin Jones at Oklahoma, and he looks a hell of a lot better than he looked at FSU.
Benson's looking good.
I bet if we kept Daryl Jackson, he would be a lot better than whatever he is now.
No doubt. Well, let's welcome in
Pete.
Hold
on. Wow, did you guys see this?
What?
Hold on a second. Let me see if I can. Hold on, because Mike Norvell has a black eye today at the press conference. Did we say that?
A lot of people are talking. I saw that. I was wondering if I was getting fooled by AI. We were just laughing at Steve Irwin.
Oh wait, hold on. Well, sports is saying, is D Money seeing the AI WWE videos? Before we went on, Mike showed me a video of Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, the lake crocodile hunter, doing a drop off the ladder through a table on a stingray. And it was like, the crazy thing about it was not only was it very realistic, like the actual move that the crocodile hunter did looked like his own type of splash that he does on the alligators. Not like, it wasn't like it was him and Eddie Guerrero's body. Mm-hmm. It was his own kind of splash.
If that's why the electricity bills are going up by hundreds of dollars, I think that's well worth it. That's a good trade-off. $500 for your monthly electric bill just to see videos of Tupac and Biggie cutting promos against one another at Backlash. I'm okay with that, and you should be too. Norvell's got a black eye. I don't know if he's been asked questions about that, but I wanted
Norvell
to initially
and the program.
I wanted to initially welcome in Pete on that because every time we have these conversations, and yes, I'm not late to this conversation. Credit to D Money. I was a fan of CanesInSight before I became a member. Folks like D and Peter Ariz have been warning FSU fans that they don't have the juice when it comes to making sure this is a sustainable growth model over at FSU. And they were doing it when it was hard to do, when FSU was perfect. However, Pete, you've always kind of defended Mike Norvell's coaching chops. So the question that was posed to me, I posed to you. What do you think of Mike Norvell? Is he a good ball coach?
I mean, in a vacuum, I think he's a good coach, but there's a lot that goes into being a coach at this level that's outside of the game day stuff. It also doesn't seem like he has I don't want to say the wherewithal, but the fortitude, right? Like, I think you saw it in the way he handled the playoff, the not making the playoffs there. Mm-hmm. Starting from there, and I, not to name drop, but I'm going to. Actually, no, I'm not going to.
Do it.
But no, I can't. I can't.
Oh, you can't name drop.
But someone I trust in the PR industry said it was not a good look, and it did not reflect well on this individual. So, and he called it from back then, and I think that has remained true. I don't think, like, Mario has that image about him, right? That even when things were struggling, he was still gonna be that tough guy who some people didn't like it, but guess what? That's who he is. There were cracks, there were chinks in the armor there when it came to Norvell, I believe. Starting with that year, then we saw last season, just emotionally seemed to be all over the place in a lot of the media stuff he was doing.
Mhm.
And now this year, we'll see. There's a black eye situation now. So it's not a great start to your bounce back.
Okay.
Maybe he was riding on a motorcycle with a young intern. I hope that's not the case.
So
for
that's the
many
best.
reasons.
That's the best case situation.
Yeah, for FSU, exactly.
Adversity is difficult by its very definition, right? And Mario Cristobal's had seasons that have faced adversity, and to be honest, like, mixed bag with how the team on the field has reacted to it. I know how he's gathered himself and rallied the troops from a collective standpoint, from a coaching staff standpoint, from a talent evaluation, both coaching evaluation and talent on the field evaluation. I know his hand hasn't been shaken in that regard. Steady hand. But the results on the field, not great. You know, we've had tough blows to our season, and it's been choppy for Miami. This season's going to have adversity. I thought Nick Saban was brilliant on College Game Day over the weekend when he highlighted, look, I've had 7 national championship teams. Only one of them went undefeated.
Let me tell you something, man. A lot of Saban love from these guys over here, man. The last
Saban's
the last few weeks.
I think Saban, and I said this on the Levitard show, like, Saban provides a path for guys like Tom Brady. Tom Brady is more charismatic on television than Nick Saban is. Nick Saban isn't super charismatic, but his knowledge just it translates. You know that when this guy talks, people are sitting, listening, and absorbing because they know he's an all-time ball knower, and he applies historical context for what it is that he's talking about. And I feel like Tom Brady should really lean on his experience there.
Well, real quick on Saban before we get to this question, because I want you to answer this question from Coach Jenko. So with Saban, I've been the biggest critic of his cheating. He was the best cheater of all time.
That's why it's for years I heard him talk about it.
And I stand by it.
The other day we waited to start our live show to hear Coach Saban's opinion of Miami.
I mean, listen, if he gave his opinion on cheating, obviously that would be very studied as well. The guy is a cheater. However,
he's a winner.
He's good at other things as well.
Highest level.
If I'm comparing him to another serial cheater, which would be Bill Belichick, the difference between Belichick, who we'll call Harold Melvin on this show, for those who know, that is really what Belichick's revealed to be, Harold Melvin without the blue notes. But when you look at Saban versus Belichick, both cheaters, when you look at Saban, he has a coaching tree. All right. Mario Cristobal being part of that coaching tree. Kirby Smart. I think Dan Lanning, I guess, at least through some kind of branch of this deal.
Through the Kirby Smart branch.
But it's like the people, when you watch big time college football, you're seeing Saban football.
Sark, Kiffin.
Right. Rehabilitating those guys. You see Saban football when you watch college football. Bill Belichick, all those guys failed.
Jimbo was a Saban guy too, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Whereas all these other guys failed. So under Belichick. So that's one difference between them. And the other difference is Saban won with a lot of different types of teams, a lot of different types of quarterbacks, a lot of different situations, and different errors. NIL era, when he couldn't be the number one cheater, that was too much and he left. But Belichick
still made the CFP.
But he got out when the getting was good. Belichick, as we've seen, without Tom Brady, who would be the Teddy Pendergrass to his Harold Melvin, he is worse than Dave Wannstedt, both in the pros and at the college level. You don't believe me? Look it up. Worse than Dave Wannstedt as a coach without Brady, worse than Dave Wannstedt as a college coach once he's been in the ACC. So that is what it is. You can check the numbers and tell me if I'm wrong. But Saban is growing on me because he's not cheating against us anymore. Mario's one of his guys. He does a great job, like you say. He's obviously the ultimate ball knower. And I'll say this about Saban's personality: sleeper, very good musical taste. The guy's got a deep knowledge of soul and R&B. Look at that's a little known fact about Saban. The guy's got a deep playlist when it comes to soul and R&B music. So Saban's stock up in the on the CanesInSight podcast.
Goes to Vaughn Donaldson points out Signetti also a Saban guy. I'm telling you, Saban's coaching tree is like the Bill Walsh coaching tree. Probably better if we're just pinpointing it to a college focus. Let's
get to the question here. From
back to ball. Joining silently from my classroom as we're testing today. Need to hear Mike's take at the end of the game. What he thought about the bunch of stuff that happened in the fourth quarter. Listen, while I was at the game, the vibes were, let's just get this thing to 0-0, right? What do we have to do? You're doing math in your head. And the only thing that was missing from the math equation was get a first down. And the score reflects that. And I will say, I'm not going to poo-poo it the way that I did against Notre Dame. this is 2 games now. And I'm probably coming out on a different side than this because it's not the message that I've had all season. I do think it's a little cause for concern when you need a first down. And we've had 2 games that the score looked a lot tighter, and Notre Dame, the game was in the balance, right?
Yeah.
If we miss that kick, we're headed to overtime, and at that point, random ball, right? You've had 2 games in which you've needed a grand total of 1 first down in those crucial quarters in crunch time to salt the game away. And Miami hasn't done it. And they haven't done it when teams are selling out against the run because Miami has become super predictable. Now, I know a lot of you, the second that they threw a pass on 3rd down, you were saying, what are you doing? This is about running the clock. I like that Mario took those chances. And also, let's get this out of the way. If any of you in the comments section were like, why didn't you kick that field goal? You don't know ball. You don't know ball. You go to kill the game. You get the first down. The game is over. And by the way, the play call was phenomenal. If anything, if you want to criticize anything, is they should have called timeout before that play to Malachi Tony because everything was rushed and Malachi ends up bumping into an offensive lineman. The timing was thrown off. You could have had the clock go down to 1, taken a timeout, and made sure you got that play because you would have burned FSU on that play. Their defense was not ready for what was coming for them, even if you gave them an additional 2 minutes to prepare for that. But I will say, Miami has struggled to get a first down when teams are selling out against the run, when they've been so good throwing the ball too. That was my frustration there. Like Miami could have put 50 on Florida State if they wanted to. What I do like about this team though, and it's different from last year's team, they don't care about the stats. Honest to God. Carson Beck could be angry about his stats, could be upset and a little jealous that Ruben Bain is getting the Heisman conversation. I mean, people put Ty Simpson back in the Heisman conversation. You saw what Carson Beck did in Tallahassee, and you saw what Ty Simpson has done in Tallahassee.
Ty Simpson's a ball player.
I understand. No, I like Ty Simpson. Carson Beck is better than Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
And in common opponents, we know who had the much better game. Not even remotely close. Carson Beck played a perfect football game against FSU. Miami doesn't care about personal accolades. They really don't. It would be a nice byproduct of a great season. But this team cares about, all right, we're in a winning position. Our win probability is such. Let's end this game right now. But I do think that they should be a little bit more creative to answer your question. I'm curious to hear you guys push back on that because I do think it is a bit of a thing. I think it's overblown, but Miami needs to get a first down.
Yeah, that's the next step, that killer instinct. You saw that all the time. Just use a pro example with the New England Patriots. They were able to get that one play. It was not a spectacular play. It might have been a tight end or just a running back on a check down, but they were able to get that play. That is certainly a difference, and I'd put the other side of the ball in the same boat. They were a little more tired, but a lot of 4th downs. And if any one of those 4th downs or long 3rd downs goes a different way, we're not even talking about all this. So it was just a overall lack of execution down the stretch.
3rd and 2, right? Where we have that false start, procedural stuff again. What I don't like is Miami started the season so clean, Pete. That game against Notre Dame was pristine. And it seems as though the more games happen, shout out to Brockermeyer, though, who cleaned up his act and ended up being one of the ACC. I think he was the offensive lineman of the week in the ACC. I'm a little concerned that this team is getting sloppier as the season goes on. And it seems as though like our penalties, when it comes to our opponents, those numbers aren't looking great, despite our opponents holding our defensive line every GD play, it would seem. But there are certainly some things to criticize here with Miami's performance, no doubt.
So a lot to get to here. I want to talk about Jacoby Thomas. We got some comments here I wanted to touch on. PD Boys, appreciate you saying. I know it's a reach, but Thomas is giving me Sean T vibes, at least his playing style. I was looking for the post on Twitter. I couldn't find it, but he posted a picture of Sean Taylor next to his own pictures from FSU. It's like FSU game to FSU game. So obviously he's leaning into the history. He also does the Ray Lewis dance. So a salute for Jacoby Thomas, a transfer, doing these things.
He had what many people that I respect are calling an all-time game against FSU. Sean Taylor did that multiple times, having all-time games against FSU. To me, Sean Taylor's a sacred cow. So let's do substantial winning. Let's keep that going on. He's gone from pleasant surprise to someone that you can count on. I'm really pleased with the safeties. I was concerned about the safeties against Notre Dame, even though Thomas was kind of flying around that field. I did want to give. I've been critical of one player on defense that I want to praise. Poyser to me seemed like he was slow to come online. Since then, he has grown. He is so decisive. He is laying some wood really on these hits. This was a game in which he was going to be challenged. That's what FSU and Gus Malzahn do. They get out to the perimeter and they force these safeties to make plays in space. Our safeties answered the bell, and the dude that surprised me because he was really good. Doesn't have the fanfare and the big time plays that Thomas has, but Zachariah Poyser, and you were high on him when we first acquired him. Slow to grow into this scheme, but I trust him now. That was a dynamite performance from Poyser.
I love our safeties. I mean, Fitzgerald, you'll throw in there too. Dylan Day almost killed a man. So, I mean, the safeties are overall playing better. I'm a Poyser fan. I like how he moves. I like how he tackles. I like his attitude and approach. I think I'm not that worried about him, but it was nice to see him make plays and get that splash. With that play on the end around to Danzy was huge.
Yes.
That was a big time tackle. He came up. He's very aggressive. He almost knocked himself out in the Florida game. He played great in that game as well. So 2 straight back-to-back big time games for the safeties.
Sign of a well-coached team too, because you see guys developing and getting better. You see this with Marcus Lightfoot, who was someone we talked about before the show. So I actually want to give Peter Ariz the opportunity to talk about 2 players, Marcus Lightfoot, and I also want to talk about David Blay with you, because I thought he flashed against FSU too. And while the ends are going to be dominating the conversation, I floated the possibility that this might be the best defensive end combo we've had at the U, and that is saying something because I know our history. But Blay is not going to stick out as much because of that, and people aren't going to talk about him. I know you've talked about him before, Pete. You're a Blay guy. What are you seeing from the young man?
Yeah, obviously he had, I would say he was more kind of in the backfield in that first game against Notre Dame, but he's someone that we said before the season, he got a lot bigger from Louisiana Tech to Miami. Like he put on about 25 pounds almost, which not only I think opened scouts' eyes when they came around Miami in the early part of the fall here when camp was going on, and kind of put him pretty heavily on the radar as like a top 3-4 round sort of guy. But I think now when we get into this part of the schedule, Mike, he'll be a guy who, you know, you'll see with some more tackles for loss, because again, what you've seen here the last few weeks is not, you haven't faced anywhere near the best offensive lines in the country. We understand that, but it's still, this is what D and I said yesterday when we had Amon Richards on with us, is that like the teams they're about to face don't have anywhere near these body types that a Florida State, a Florida, Notre Dame had. USF, you know, I think that's more in line, you know, in terms of what you're going to see in terms of the body types that you'll see in the ACC here. But no, Lightfoot as well. I actually just saw a clip. Micah Pettis got hurt in the game, and it looked like it was on one of the interceptions. Lightfoot took him out bad. You know, so you don't want you want Pettis to get back right. I'm not trying to highlight the injury, but I'm talking like there was an impact made there that you don't even necessarily realize was on
a bigger guy,
on a much better. This guy's 6'7", 6'8", 340 plus almost. So I think Lightfoot, man, and we were talking about it before the show a little bit, Mike, because you said you wanted to talk about him, but Miami had opportunities to go after more high-profile names in the transfer portal last year, and Jason Taylor really put his foot on the ground on this one and said, no, we bring someone in, he'll probably transfer. I really trust him, and I want to develop him, and it's made JT look really good on that call.
That's a great bit of reporting there, Pete. That's really keen insight, because I got to tell you, I've learned a lot from watching this year's team. I've learned a lot about patience. I've learned a lot about development. I've learned to not be so emotional. I remember when Malachi Toney decommitted, I was like, why do we need to keep chasing this 3-star that's not about the Miami Hurricanes? If he doesn't want to be here, let him go. I've learned since, dumb attitude. Don't trust the head coach. No, head coach, if he says we're going to stay battling here, this guy's worth it, you listen to him. And Lightfoot's another guy where I got to be honest, at practice, I'm like, I don't see the frame. I don't see the effort. I don't know, like, this is a 5-star. I don't know if I see it with this guy. Coaches developed the young man. We saw that ugly kind of incident at the Pop-Tart Bowl that in retrospect actually shows that he's got some guts, guile, and he's proud to wear that U. So Yeah, I've learned a lot. This team is teaching me to be patient, but it also teaches me like these coaches, shock of all shocks, no player ceiling's a hell of a lot better than we do at home.
Well, so shout out to Jason Taylor for that. Zach Etheridge, what he's done. Bleed Orange Agreed says, can we give Will Harris his flowers for the coaching he's done with these safeties? All of them deserve praise. I got to say, though, the giving flowers thing, this is a new phenomenon. I guess it started in the last few years. At least it's the first I've heard of this in the last few years. Maybe it's been around longer and it just hasn't reached my 40-year-old world. But my question is, Pete, Mike, have you ever given flowers to someone because they did a good job? Have you ever been like, hey, man, great job. Here are some flowers. I've only given flowers to my wife, and usually after like I screw up. It's never like, hey, great job. Here are flowers.
I've never done that.
Has anyone ever done that?
I only give flowers because it's like the thing that I'm supposed to do because companies in this country have so much powerful influence. That's how the engagement ring became a thing. It was just a marketing scheme. And then it became like, oh, if you don't have an engagement ring, then what are you doing? You're a loser. The notion of giving something that is dying to someone,
it's true.
It's a weird thing. But I do like the saying. It's a cliche I lean on.
Oh, here we go. Johnny Lagoon. I see. It's an expression for a great theater performance. That's right. You throw the flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or they give it, like, I guess they give it to the person, like the lady walks out and gives the flowers to the conductor or whatever. Yeah. Although really, I've never seen them not get it. And by the way, I'm a ballet connoisseur. You know, I like to get out there. I'm a big fan of Balanchine and his works. So I go out there with the wife, and I've been to probably dozens of ballet performances. I've never seen the conductor not get his flowers from the person on the side. And quite frankly, I've seen some performances that did not deserve flowers. So really, it's a meaningless gesture in that context because they always get the flowers. Yeah. They never don't get the flowers, even when they screw up. So thank you, Johnny, for the cultural explanation. But I'm not seeing why that's a ritual. It's this. They do it every time.
Let's take the opportunity to laugh at FSU one last time because, look, I guess it starts from the top. Mike Norvell was a king of excuses last year. We know Castellanos has always been about making excuses and always been about giving bad quotes. We know this about his time over at Boston College. I get why he's this fiery guy, but I don't know, just not the kind of guy I want under center. Not just because, and it's not just a metric thing. It's not just his height, his lack of a throwing arm. There was a zip conversation around Carson Beck and not that baby arm fool. But Castellanos, defensive court, he says, I mean, Castellanos, it's going to get beaten out of him on the football field at a certain point. And I know that
by
dude,
himself, because he only beats himself, according to his comment. He said FSU only beats themselves. So
I know people want to read into that comeback. That comeback, he was averaging 5 yards a pass. Boy was terrified, man. He was terrified. We could have played that game 1,000 times. It would have never came back.
And that reminds me of the Detroit Pistons, the year they won the championship. The one game, actually, it was a game they were winning. Yeah, I don't know. It was a blowout game. Darko Milicic came at the end of the game, and he was covering guys on the perimeter. I texted my buddies. I'm like, hey, man, Darko, showing some nice lateral movement. This guy's going to be a stud. You can't read too much into garbage time is the moral of the story.
You got to be cut a certain way if you're a fellow Cuban and I just don't like you. Because I'll find any excuse to like a guy like that. But dating back to BC, I haven't been about this guy. But the quotes afterwards, like, they didn't do anything really
we got
to
Marquise
us.
Lightfoot, by the way.
They didn't do anything to us. We beat ourselves. I've seen plenty of FSU this season. That offense was rattled. You were rattled. I know you were rattled because you took 2 steps. Ruben Bain was in your backfield, and you decided to run into loving embrace of Akeem Mesidor. Like, you know what Miami was doing. You were averaging 5 yards per pass attempt. Your drives were taking 7 minutes long because of you were running for your life and trying to take the nearest check down. Give the opponent some credit. That would be my advice. Like, Miami was a good team. Like, you just sound like a gigantic loser when you have a quote like that. And you have a lot of bad quotes. And that's on the Mount Rushmore of bad quotes. And that's saying something. And your defensive coordinator's an idiot too.
Oh, Tony White. Yeah, knew everything we were going to do. What a guy, says Trey Moore. Randy Ellison, I think, has corrected Johnny Lagoon and us, and I think he's right. He said, I thought giving the flowers more to do to funerals. You give people flowers when they die. I'm giving to them while they're living is my interpretation. You know, that's how I always heard the giving flowers. If people said, I want my flowers while I'm alive. So that what Randy is saying, I think, is the right answer. It's not the theater. It's the, hey, don't wait till my funeral to give me flowers. Give me the flowers while I am still alive. So, Randy, I think you got that one. Got a lot of comments here we got to get to. There's Lord Baconton. Shout out, hear ye, to the noble Lord Baconton. Appreciate your support. Peony Boy saying Bane and Messi, best duo in UM history. That's on the table. And then Clutch, good question here. Mike, Pete, whoever wants it. If we make the college football playoff, I'd love Oregon, UGA, Ohio State, teams with history with Miami.
Sound like pretty good teams, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. I want the lower end.
I'll take that USF rematch. I'll take that USF rematch.
I don't know, man. These guys are pretty good.
Something. Mario gets to prove he made the right move. Beck gets revenge, and we all know OSU story bye-week talk.
I don't want to see any of them until I absolutely have to.
I don't know. I appreciate us wanting to look ahead and talk about CFP matchups, and I like my hand. I think Miami's got a good team, and I want to see how they measure up. I want to play a game, and if we're not good enough, I want to know what the gulf is so we can get better. But this is as confident as I've been in a Miami Hurricanes team in my lifetime. Last year, I wanted to get into the CFP. Let's see where we stack up. Let me see Cam Ward against these defenses. I know we got some ground to make up defensively, but with this offense, we got a puncher's chance. This time around, it's a bit of a different fight. But one last thing on Tommy Castellanos.
Give it to us.
Tommy Castellanos, we've seen how fluid that offense has looked. What were they, 600 yards per game? Tommy Castellanos knows better than anyone. He was running around like a baby who just stole a remote control from the TV around the house. He was panicked. Now, he made some things happen. It was great for him to get 7 yards where he would usually get 25. Don't come at me with that nonsense. That's the last time you'll ever play Miami because you're not getting to the ACC championship game. And your legacy is the dude that ran away terrified from Ruben Bain, deciding that he wanted to get Mesidor to clobber him because you were that afraid. You were taking the lesser of two evils. Loser. Like, seriously, like a loser mentality. And I gotta imagine it comes from Mike Norvell. I have to. What is this? This guy's been allowed to talk. Like he said, Nick Saban isn't saving you. Now, credit to him. He backed it up against Alabama. But how do you let your quarterback...
This isn't Alabama, folks. When he played on Saturday, that's not Alabama.
How do you let your
We're talking
quarterback...
different level out here.
How do you let your quarterback continue to talk like this? I pull the young man aside and say, hey, man, after the game, give the opponent some credit. Just shut up. Just stop talking. What are you going to do? You're going to do this for a 7-win season? You're going to set this example for a 7-win season? Really, coach? I don't get it. Not whatsoever.
Big Mo, 16-0. Go argue with a wall. Green Run Baptist Church asking, just tune in. How many times has D-Money trashed FSU players and said they all suck? I did that earlier. I got that out of the way early. But you know what? We're through rivalry season. The rivals are done. They're dead. Florida, done. They're going to do what? I hope not. As far as we're concerned,
tiny little spread in College Station.
Hey, listen, and we'll talk about that later. As far as I'm concerned, because that's on the list. As far as I'm concerned, as Miami's concerned, Florida's done. Eight quarters, and Florida was not on the same field in Miami in any one of those 8 quarters. It was quite frankly embarrassing. The trenches looked pathetic, which I think is more of a credit to Miami when you saw Florida against Texas. So Florida's done. They got 8 quarters of domination. They looked ridiculous. The fans just didn't have even a moment to cheer. It was bad. Their program's done, at least for the time being. Florida State, embarrassing. We've talked about it all day. Notre Dame, maybe we'll see those guys again, but that was settled as far as this season and this regular season, what we need to do to them. USF, no UCF claim national championship. They're done. So now we could just focus on the ACC and having fun and playing football. I don't have to be critical of the other team just to bury them and their fans. Louisville's got some exciting players. They got some speed over there in Louisville.
Who's a wide receiver?
Chris Bell, NFL prospect. Big guy, almost 220 pounds with game-breaking speed. Isaac Brown, Homestead product, great speed. Colin Lacey, fast guy, could take it to the house. So they got some good pass rushers. They got 2 good ends, smaller guys, but can get after it. So I'm giving Louisville all the credit in the world. Seems like a nice town. They got a lot of Cubans there. Castellanos will not be welcome there based on some of his behavior. But I'm giving Louisville all the love. I don't need to bury teams every week. They're done. That's we'll worry about that next year or next time we make the Micron PC Bowl.
Wow. I remember the Micron PC Bowl up against Torrey Holt.
That's it.
Edgerrin James announced himself to a nation in the Micron PC Bowl.
Tremaine Mack.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tremaine Mack.
Scott Covington. I still liked him. I liked Scott Covington. One of the worst starts in NFL history you'll ever see out of a quarterback. Dude was just unprepared. Didn't know any of the plays.
Last NFL QB we had until Cam, I think. Actually, Dorsey
started a few games.
Yeah, Dorsey.
Yeah.
And Brock started a game. So those are a low NFL legacy lately.
Yeah.
Until Cam's spectacular comeback here last week.
I would have loved to have seen Stephen Morris in a Shannon Dawson offense, though. Man, Stephen Morris, he could really sling it. It's just, you look at this FSU program and you look at how their fans talk, and I do have some pity. Follow me down this, because it wasn't fun down here for the last 15 years outside of like an outlier season here, turnover chain there. I see what they're saying, and I see, reporters highlighting, of his 7 snaps, this dude flashed. And yeah, this was about as close a blowout as you could have. Like, I know all the loser laments. The officiating, like, I've been through it. If we didn't make that one muff punt, like, we would have had him right where we wanted him. I see it and I recognize it because I was there. And I look back on it now that I'm through it with a good football team. And I'm like, man, you were such an idiot. And FSU doesn't realize where they're at right now. They're in like the Randy Shannon type of point in their timeline. And it's going to take hell to climb out of that. And I don't know if your program has the juice too. You may get left behind here, folks.
I was worried about this game for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons, Mike, was our performance the week before on this show was subpar. A lot of technical issues, even more so than today. It's actually been pretty smooth since we got the mutes figured out there, Pete. We're rolling right now. Knock on wood. We are on fire.
Yeah, that was a great bit that we had to start the show.
Yeah, great bit. Exactly. We wrote that one. It was it's like Andy Kaufman. You don't know if it's a joke or not. So, we're trying to keep you guys guessing here with the no audio as we flail around for the first 2 minutes of the show. But I was worried about it, the performance. And I went back and I looked at the film. I watched the show we did last week. I'm like, how can we get better? What are we not doing right? I said, it wasn't the various audio issues or the fact that we had no script and that the first 5-10 minutes of the show was completely fuzzy with echo. I think the problem with the show last week, we did not do enough ads. There were not enough reads on the show. So I'm going to correct that, talking about the #1 Cuban restaurant on planet Earth. Even better than Louisville, which has underrated Cuban food. That is East Las Canarias Cuban Express. 40-plus years serving the Miami community. Everybody, not just Cubans, but if you ask Cubans, they'll tell you what's up. 7 different types of croquetas, all kinds of sandwiches, the classic medianoche, and then some stuff I never even heard of. When you look at the cubaditos and some of the loaded fries and tostones options, it's innovative, same time classic, just like Miami offense. We had a little sizzle, and then we had the fundamentals on Saturday. But East Las Canarias, the absolute best in the business. You hear Martha about Cuban coffee, you get it right here at East Las, authentic, just like you get it at home. Or if you're visiting, we'll welcome you in at East Las Canarias Cuban Express. And
I would have killed for an East Las in Tallahassee.
Oh, my goodness.
That dump.
That's how you know it's not legit. The Dayland Dining Pavilion, that's how you know it's a world-class establishment. FSU, we went to Chuck's Fish, which was solid. I liked it. And then I learned it's just a chain. They got nothing original in that town.
College town chain. And a great play-by-play man, which will remain nameless, told us, this is kind of the worst of all the branches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He would know.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, he's a big Chuck's Fish guy. But look, this town had such little juice before
hold on.
during the game.
Mike, we broke down the film. We studied it. And the ads, there were not enough ads.
Okay. You want to go back to
banter,
back?
The banter, the game analysis, all these things. You need a little more juice on the ad side, which is why I got to talk about someone who I am giving flowers to. I'm giving them orchids, and that is OrchidMan Florida. Mike, you corrected me. You told me that sounds like OrchidMan when I do the read,
which is a different business entirely.
My guy D Hux in the comments suggested we do a little Method Man Hall & Oates spell out. So that's why we're talking about the OrchidMan man, who I saw a couple hours ago down there at the light watching the baseball team, which we'll talk about in a second. Great looking group of kids. I think it's going to be a very, very good season. A lot of size, a lot of firepower on that team. OrchidMan, he does that, but he also does the best landscapes in South Florida, Palm Beach, all the way down to the Keys. does the pretty work and does the dirty work. Attention to detail is key. Rain gutters, hurricane prep, landscape lighting, fertilizing, manicure maintenance, tree trimming. ORCHID.
What if I have a tree stump that needs to be removed?
You know what? If you have a tree stump that needs to be removed, I think what I would probably do is, number one, I would call the ORCHID man. He'll take care of that right away. And then I would sit on that tree stump, crack open, nice can of BUZZN. BUZZN. Drink BUZZN.
This is aggressive even for you.
.com. And just think about life, man. You're sitting on that stump. You're looking at your house that you worked hard, earned money to build, your family that you're so proud of, just your life at whatever age you're at. Mike, about to approach 40, Mike Gundy year here for you. So this decade to come seems to be one of downward spiral based on recent trends, but we're celebrating you. And we're going to do all that pondering while drinking a BUZZN, sitting on that tree stump. Drink BUZZN. Drink BUZZN. You can order all you want online. Use promo code FIRST50 for 50% off, or you can go to Big Daddy's Liquors and get yourself a can in person in South Florida.
I'm done with my 30s as of tomorrow. One thing I'm also done with is going to Tallahassee. I don't care how good our teams are. I'm not going back to that town. It is one of those things that I've outgrown. As we mature, we outgrow friends, we outgrow situations, we mature in life. I have outgrown the city of Tallahassee. I don't ever want to go back there. I've been to plenty of college towns, and they've been fun. I've gone to towns where I haven't thought we're going to win at all. I was just hoping to be competitive, and that doesn't really change my experience with it, right? I'm still there to have a good time. It is impossible to have a good time in Tallahassee. It is a city with no charm. How do you have a college town?
Tallahassee has food courts, not dining pavilions.
That's right. How do you have a college town that is absent charm? There is no interesting architecture in this town.
No.
They even have rolling hills there that would provide something. Nope, not in Tallahassee. Everything is drab. Everything is dreary. The town has no juice.
The hills are not alive with the sound of music.
No, the hills aren't alive. They're deader than Mike Norvell's high school recruiting. This team, this town, this program is so anti-juice. You and I have been to big time atmospheres. College Station, which is probably, like, in terms of environment, and like, oh boy, what do we get ourselves into? Probably the craziest atmosphere I've been to, right? I've been to Louisville, had more juice in Tallahassee.
Oh, yeah.
This is a state rivalry. I've been to the bounce house at UCF for a big game against Cincinnati. I'm like, wow, this place has some juice. Tallahassee, we walked through the parking lot and the tailgate situation. This is a top 20 matchup, right?
Right before kick.
How quiet was it? It was like a church service was going on there. I had to get people going. I'm like, you guys are playing today, right? You guys know this, right? What was going on there with this team? And yeah, the war chant, like, I guess it sounds cool on your TV. We were there. I'm like, this ain't much. This ain't hard rock loud. This ain't hard rock loud. Hard rock against the Florida Gators when Miami got 3 straight negative plays to open that game was about as loud as I've ever heard that building. And I was there in 2017 when Trajan Bandy ran back that pick 6, which is like the gold standard in terms of noise I've heard in a building. And I put my finger on it. I'm like, what is up with this town? That game, that atmosphere lacked the juice because these people have to carry their lives living in this crap town. I will not do it anymore. No good hotels. No good food. You can't even go to like a good bar over there and be like, this place has charm. This place has good bar food. Everything is crap.
They definitely don't have a Pop Subs.
They definitely don't have a Pop Sub. They don't have a Maurice.
Let's talk about Pop Subs.
Is it Marquise? Maurice. Good. I had it the first time. Crazy old Maurice.
Pop Subs serving the #1 team in the country. Shout out to Patrick. Shout out to the whole team. And they're serving the #1 team in Canes podcast and right here, serving us up with subs, taking care of us. Shout out to Patrick. Shout out to Maurice. If you don't know what it is in downtown Glenvar Heights, right? It's downtown Glen. Is that downtown?
Well, it's on that's what I call it. I call it downtown Glenvar.
Downtown Glenvar Heights.
Sunset and 87.
Yeah, the intersection of life and sports.
And keep an eye out. Patrick from Pops has been doing platters, giveaway platters for game days, and he's going to be doing another one for the Louisville game here in a couple weeks.
Pete, so we're talking about that area, right? That Sunset. You know what? I used to go in that area I go there now to get pops, but where I used to go in that area was they had a reptile store.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, it's
It's
still
still
there.
there.
It's still there.
Next to the pizza.
So you could buy
Yep.
snakes
Yep.
at that spot.
You know what? I need to go do some research.
Because Pete, Mike, I don't know if you know this. I should know this as a podcast professional, but I just learned that the podcast that we do, even these stupid shows that we do, they get transcribed into words, and you can just click a button on Apple Podcasts and see the actual transcript. Pretty accurate. I had no idea. My boy Fonzie, our boy Fonzie, told us about this earlier this week. So I went and I pulled some of these old podcasts.
How many times did you say OrchidMan?
I spelled it out. I didn't miss it. But here we go. If you are not familiar with Postgame Pete's game, if you don't watch the show immediately after the game, here's what you're missing out on. And I'm just going to go ahead. I pulled up Pete's postgame rant in written form. And here's what we got.
Oh, I like this.
There might be a little more venom when they need to put the foot on the gas. And I tried to do some research. There are 0 species of the boa constrictor that are venomous. So not even one part of the family. We're in South Florida. There's a lot of breeding that goes on. It's true. And very responsible comment by you, Pete, to
had to
say
throw the
this.
disclaimer.
I don't know how ethical a lot of it is in terms of the dog stuff. Are you guys seeing this? A lot of these dogs that are bred are not healthy when they breed them. A lot of them are not.
Oh, like bulldogs. I'm with you on that.
And this is the best sentence I think has ever been uttered on any CanesInSight affiliated programming. And I'm not here to really get on my high horse in terms of that, but let's start breeding some snakes, my brothers and sisters out there. Because the boa constrictor, we might need to start breeding with a little bit of hybrid action there and get a little rattlesnake breeding with the boa constrictor, because Malachi Tony, not the fastest guy, we're not going to run a 4.3. Well, he might now. He looks pretty fast.
He looked fast.
He definitely adds some venom to the offense. So,
Yeah.
Pete, thank you for that.
Thank you, Pete.
That is the best
Can-
description
can
I've
we
heard of the
all-
offensive
what, huh?
performance.
Can we also transcribe, because my friends and I were laughing at like one thing. If you've known me for a long time, I'm brutally honest. But also, if you've just met me, you know I'm honest.
And I said it. If you did know me at one point, but don't know me anymore, then you could probably still say the same thing.
Bottom line is, you're honest.
I'm an honest
fooled,
man.
Can't get fooled again. Oh, Pete, Postgame Pete is an experience. I was laughing as I was lying in bed after shout out to the terrible Miller's Ale House in Tallahassee that refused service and kept us waiting around like a bunch of idiots and treated me like garbage. You people are pathetic. It ruined my night. And I was sitting there angry, stewing in bed after what should have been one of the good nights in my life, right? Just thoroughly dominating an opponent and a rival after years of torture at the hands of Jimbo Fisher. The only thing that brought me solace was hearing your voice from the other room as my friends gathered around, being thoroughly entertained by Postgame Pete. If you haven't experienced it, folks, you got a bye week this week. But after Louisville, special Friday night delight of Peter Ruiz, Postgame Pete, and I know he'll bring it.
Sorry, I'm distracted by something. Our good friend Mo Chetta just sent me a DM that I guess DJ Volume posted a video of our show last week. I can't hear what it's saying. I can't tell if it's us getting on him or like giving him props. So
I feel like last week when we mentioned DJ Volume, we actually gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I think it might be from that show. Let me
Goes on also saying DJ Volume fire shots. He posted this before
Did
you
he
said it.
really?
So something's happening. What's the story?
You know, like DJ
Hold on
Volume.
a second.
I don't want to get into this.
Let me listen to it real quick.
All right, yeah, listen to it because I don't really want to get
All right,
into
Pete, while
this
you're
with
working
him.
that, we got a question from Lord Baconton here. It says flowers go to the whole defensive staff while they're still alive. The tackling reminds me of the old days. These guys are lowering the boom. West, Teray, Thomas Poyser, Day, Popo. Wow, looks like a defense-led team. That's when we won championships. Appreciate your support as always, Lord Baconton. I would point out that the teams in the playoffs last year were all the teams that had the best defenses. I mean, pretty much up and down. You look at Penn State, you look at Notre Dame, you look at Georgia last year, you look at Ohio State. Pete's laughing, so I'm very curious to hear what he's got cooking here. It was all defense-led, so that's a good sign for us.
What's a report? Do we have beef with DJ Volume?
There might be some beef, Jim.
What's going on? Talk to us.
It was a clip of you saying that it might be an op, that it might be a Gator fan that's trying to suppress the electric juice.
Yeah,
in
not
the
him.
stadium.
I said the guy that was telling him not to post songs.
I don't know that he understood what we were saying.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Oh, what did he say?
Look, we are.
What did he say?
No, he didn't. It was a September gratitude post, but he posted that in there, and I think I don't know. It was a very out of context.
Yeah, take it out of context. This is what you
It
get
was
for
a
doing a
taken
good
out of
deed.
context.
I was trying to give DJ Volume some slack and say, hey, maybe the person telling him not to do all these things is a Gator op, and it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
It is someone from up high, which he said, someone was giving him directions, and that was why he wasn't turning up as much as he was capable of. So I try to give him some credit, get his side of the story out there, and I get rewarded by being on this feed as some sort of, I don't know, a negative force.
So he had posted this like last week. But,
if I may,
Mo had sent it to me now, so that's why it caught my attention.
If I may, this is a little unfair of DJ Volume to do because your comments are being totally taken out of context. Because last week's episode, we actually did come to his defense after he put out a notes app thing saying, it's not all my fault. This is what I'm being told by the stadium ops. That being said, we have been incredibly hard on DJ Volume in previous incarnations of this show.
We didn't know the truth.
And we come out and we hear your side. Now that is a totally logical explanation, but here's one thing that I've seen as I've seen DJ Volume become more and more active on social media, about a year or two online. Like, we know you're from Miami. We know you want to do a better job and you want to throw down and you're very proud of your skills. Just do it. I'm telling you, like there are certain signs. Sweet Caroline got the people going.
We
all
give
right.
him props for that.
I espouse the virtues of Sweet Caroline.
I should take it back. I give mystery GM, whoever in the background is telling him to play Sweet Caroline. Great call by that guy, because it did get the crowd juiced up against Florida, and we went on a great run and closed the game out and beat them by 3 scores after.
DJ Volume, look at me. This is an inflection point. We can be on your side here. I want to give you the credit and not the puppet master that is holding you back the credit here. You tell me whose fault it is when we're playing Party in the USA twice. All right? You tell me whose fault it is when we're doing Black Eyed Peas, multiple Black Eyed Peas songs in one game. I hope we've come a long way from last time. We're closing the book on that. I've seen the seeds of something promising at Hard Rock Stadium. I have seen some juice that results from the very songs that you are playing, DJ Volume. You don't want to be against us here, pal. When my colleague here, my comrade, was trying to defend you, reading your words, you hold it against him when you could have done that easily for a year straight before. Unfair. I say either put the phone down or put the tunes up.
DJ
we want
to
Trick
DJ.
Daddy.
DJ to DJ.
Occasional DJ to full-time DJ. Trick Daddy. Turn of the century hip hop. Some UGK. Some Big Pimpin'. Let's get it going. Some Rough Riders anthem. Huh? What do you say?
Lord Baconton, the Regal Lord Baconton saying Tallahassee sassy, definitely not classy. That place is good for one thing, and that's a landfill. I like the Malahassee from Miss Tony on Twitter. That was outstanding work there.
I gotta say, I'm pretty upset I didn't think about that one before. That one.
Well,
that one.
We're at the hour mark. I want to get to this, Pete. I want to get to this. This is a very important point. We can do song of the week and wrestler of the week off of this, but I want to talk about this because it actually ties into my song of the week. Okay, we can still talk some football after. I don't know. You guys figure out the timing. I just need to get this off my chest.
Mm-hmm. Go for
Pete,
it.
How old were you in July of 2013?
July 2013, I was 19 years old.
So you were basically the Malachi Tony of Kane's internet presence.
Mm-hmm.
Content creators, they call him now.
Prodigious.
Was that fair? Is fair, accurate assessment?
Yeah, you could say that.
You went straight. You were already working in high school.
Give me a lot of credit there, but
you were a young,
the
young buck making plays.
I'll take it.
And you didn't wait for a handout. You went and got what you needed to do, what you needed to accomplish. You went and got it when it made it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Correct or not?
Correct.
So Pete,
proud of you, bud.
At the age of 19, the tender age of 19, went on Twitter and made this post to all the ops and doubters in the Canes football internet talking crap universe, which we now call content creation. Right there. 2013, actually November 2013. The game ain't based on sympathy. CanesInsight.com. # GABOS.
GABOS.
GABOS. What a
Pete,
song.
talk to us about
The
it. Talk to us about
godfather
it.
of the Gabos.
Take us back.
Gabo Swinney.
You know, I actually with this album, he has a song GABOS that came out later, but your song of the week that is tied into. I had to say that, not to give it away, but when that album came out that morning after, I went to the record store and I bought 7 copies of that album, deluxe, to feed the streets. Because let me tell you, brother, that was an album and a half, and it really shaped who I am today.
And for those who don't know what we're talking about, so Malachi Tony, everybody had their eye black written out this game. They really did a good job with the eye black messages. There were a lot of different ones. I don't know if that was a
I saw
coordinated
Bleep
deal.
Cancer that I couldn't believe got allowed there.
Hey, I agree with him.
We agree
And he
wholeheartedly.
played great. And he played his butt off.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of messages on the eye black, and Malachi Tony, who is, I guess you would say, the Peter Rees of playing football.
Yeah.
And he wrote on his eye black, despite being probably, how old was he when this tweet was made? Probably like 8.
You were old.
Yeah, he was a young buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like 5 years old.
And he said, the game ain't based on sympathy, GABOS. And he actually told the camera on the cinematic recap, if you haven't seen it,
That was cool.
made a very clear message. Really, my wife, true story, my wife sat down the kids at the kitchen island we have and explained to them the quote. My kids are 11, 9, and 7. And my wife sat him down and she's like, do you know what this means, GABOS? The game ain't based on sympathy. What, like, it was like when you read one of those like English literature stories and you have to talk about the metaphors and what it means. She's like, what does game mean in this context? What does that mean? The game ain't based on sympathy. And she sat down my kids for a good 5 minutes explaining this quote. Very strong message from Malachi Tony. Apparently it's from like an old movie they made about Dade County prisons. And one of the inmates dropped that jewel to the camera. I guess that's the original origin of it, that he just, in the documentary, he told the camera the game ain't based on sympathy. Someone in the comments, I'm sure, knows what's going on. But yeah, GABOS, baby. That's the motto right here.
All right. I've chewed on this for a couple of seconds. I think it's time. DJ Volume. We can be allies here. We can help. All right. So we can do this the easy way or the hard way. I suggest we talk this out on the show. Join us here on CanesInSight. Let us hear your side of the story. If there is someone holding you down, we will get to the bottom of it, and we will start a rallying cry amongst everybody that goes to those games to unleash DJ Volume. And from what I could tell, there was a slight pivot. The criticisms got to you, and you've been trying to display recent efforts in which, no, I'm going to turn up the effort here. So which is it, DJ Volume? You're either held down or you're allowed to go beyond what was pre-approved. We need answers. I want to like DJ Volume. I know you're talented. I know you have good taste in music. I see your social clips.
305 till he dies.
Yes, that's what you say. That's what you purport yourself to be, and we want to support that. But don't come at the one guy that was defending you last week in a sea of haters. This was a beacon for you. Don't come at my guy D-Money. I don't like that one bit. I'm sorry.
You were chewing.
I'm sorry he did that to you.
You were chewing.
I'm sorry he did that to
Vladdy
you.
says Mike may win MVP of today's show. You were chewing
That
and
was
chewing
bogus.
and chewing.
That was bogus.
Cloud Fleet.
DJ Volume, next week. Let's do this on this show. All right? That's it. I've gone back and forth on it for months, but we need this thing fixed. A rising tide lifts all boats. All right? You either buy in, you hold on to the same rope, or you let go of the rope, you'll go tumbling down. I don't want to see you tumble down, DJ Volume. Don't want to see that.
GABOS, DJ Volume, GABOS.
I'm actually showing
Let's go
sympathy
get
here.
it. Let's go get it. EJ says he's another time. DJ Volume, by the way, has never lost. He's only beaten himself.
That's right.
He's only beaten himself.
Quit being so 2000 and late.
God, but I've stayed out of this, but I don't want to get into it.
Wow.
GABOS.
Wow.
Song choice ain't based on sympathy.
No, but I'm with you, D. I'm with you, D. It's like Tony White. You knew what they were gonna do. You know what songs you can't play, my brother. You know what you can't play. So you're gonna go play some other stuff. You know what you can't play. So what can you play? Well, let's figure that one out, man.
There's plenty of new school hip hop too. I'm not just going to be the old head. There's Miami standards and there's new hip hop. Let's get some Denzel Curry in there. Bad Bunny always works. People love the Bad Bunny.
I wanted to stay out of this thing, man.
Play some more Babon.
Listen, you're a guy, you do it face to face. I know we've talked about that just seminal moment in your life when you told JD to his face you were wrong.
That's right.
And now you want DJ Vaughn should come to us and tell us about him and his wrongness, at least in the context of this post, which was inaccurate based on the context of the conversation.
You know, I do have a history of doing this. Like Duncan Robinson, you remember when we got gentlemen swept by the Nuggets? Duncan Robinson had a great game too.
He did.
I believe the Duncan Robinson game.
He's had a few games.
Duncan Robinson, you know, he's also had a couple games where he's sitting on the bench and a couple games where he refuses to shoot. But Duncan Robinson had a good game. I told Duncan Robinson to his face, hey, man, sorry I've been so critical. You had that dog in you. You showed it to me. I'm sorry. I had that wrong. I am capable of doing this.
Wait, you said that? You know what?
I said this to him directly to his face.
I got to give a shout out. You know, I screwed up. I know you're watching. Andrew Barnett. I was supposed to wear the newest design from Heat Subculture, and I missed the opportunity. I'll do it next week. But he has a shirt that actually is the Junkyard Dog JYD, one of the most over superstars to ever come out of the South. JYD. It's a Junkyard Dog shirt that actually says Dunkyard Dog in honor of Duncan Robinson. So I got to get you one of those. I got a new shirt I'll be wearing next week. Shout out to Andrew Barnett. Shout out to Heat Subculture.
Whoa. Don't get it twisted. I gave him credit after one good game.
The shirt's not coming on. Junkyard Dog is perfect.
When I think back on his time here, I'm like, what if this guy showed that mentality all the time?
Yeah, he might be our leading, 3-point shooter of all time as an undrafted free agent. But anyways, Primetime Rambo, $20. Appreciate you. If you are a tight end, why come to Miami with this current offense? Whoa. It's clear Dawson prefers a 4 wide receiver look over using a tight end. Even when Arroyo was hot last year, did the same thing. Arroyo, first of all, was I believe a second-round pick, one of the stars of college football last year, number one. First of all, thank you, Primetime Rambo, for the super chat. Royo was a second-round pick. By the way, Pete, I know you were mocking Arroyo for I guess not producing enough as a rookie tight end for those first 2 games.
I wasn't mocking him.
He was rounding people up. He looked.
I wasn't
excellent.
mocking him one bit.
He looked excellent. I got big hopes for Arroyo. I do think he will ultimately will be the tight end we remember from that class.
He's just not tight end 1 right now on his own
He's not
team.
right now.
He's not right now.
They have good tight ends, so that's a good situation.
I agree.
Who's that guy? Barner?
Yes.
He's
AJ
good.
Barner.
He's impressive. Like they got a good tight end situation over there. I think there's some people that call into question the usage of the tight ends. When he has one that's worthy of going to the pros, he showed you exactly who was our most explosive player on offense last year outside of Cam Ward. It was probably the tight end. Yep. If you look at the big play stats, the guy that actually had house calls from distance, it's Malachi Tony this year. It was Arroyo last year, was a tight end. When he has the talent at that position, he utilizes them. I think Shannon Dawson has earned a little bit of grace here, folks. Like I don't understand what it is that you want. You want to see the wide receivers flash, you want to see the running backs flash, and you want to see the tight ends flash all simultaneously. Sometimes that can happen. Sometimes you got to take what the defense gives you, as FSU found out. All right. It's a weird nitpick that Miami fans have when it comes to the tight end. I don't understand it. Is there a guy at tight end? Like Lofton's a different situation because he's hurt. But do you really want to see more of Bowman?
I'm sorry, though. Hold on a second, though. That's the other thing I want to stop. Can we stop saying a guy's hurt if he's playing?
Yep, that's true. That's good enough.
He's out there. Like we gotta judge him for what he is right now.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Yes, but hey, here's what I'll use an example. Ruben Bain, best player in college football right now, at least on the defensive side of the ball. We saw the same Ruben Bain last year, and it was not as effective. So we're just trying to explain why you might be seeing certain things.
But Ruben Bain missed a large portion of the season last year. I mean, he missed a month of the season. No, I'm sorry. I think it's a little bit different. Am I out of line for that? Or
with all due respect, sincerely, to Alex Bowman. Speaking to the Canes fans right now.
No, I don't co-sign to this, but you go ahead and say what you need to say.
No. I'm not going to insult it. I'm not going to insult the man. I'm going to tout the rest of the talent that we have on our team. What makes you say out loud when you see Alex Bowman out there fighting for, like, he made some nice contested catches, right? He's shown that there's a role on this team, and I think he's doing fine. But what have you seen from Alex Bowman that's like, I'd rather him get more touches than Malachi Tony or CJ Daniels or even JoJo Trader? Guys, like, let's be a little rational here when it comes to the tight end conversation. Shannon Dawson showed you last year what he can do with an elite tight end.
I'll say some Alex Bowman. The last 2 years, so 2023, 2024, 12 touchdowns in those 2 years. I believe he was the all-time returning tight end touchdown catch leader. It is a long season. And I believe, just like you saw when he was a true freshman catching the game-winning touchdown against USC in the biggest game in Tulane history, true freshman catching that touchdown game winner, you will see one of those iconic touchdown catches from Alex Bowman. I'm saying it right here, October 8th. I don't know if it's going to be in an ACC game. Hopefully not, because hopefully we blow all them out. I don't know if it's going to be in the playoff. I don't know if it's going to be in the championship, January 19th, Miami Gardens home game.
You're being such a politician.
You are going to see, I believe this, you will see an Alex Bowman touchdown.
I don't doubt it.
That will be iconic. And it'll be like we talk about Shockey to Dorsey, that touchdown, not saying over the course of the year, saying that touchdown we talked about in the FSU game that everybody remembers. You're going to see a play like that from Alex Bowman. He's a red zone whiz. He is a competitor. He is a winner. Remember I said it October 8th, but go ahead.
That's fine. I'm not, look, Alex Bowman's going to make big plays for this team. He's going to have his moments. I look at how we're using Alex Bowman. I'm like, we're using that guy just fine.
We're rolling.
Everything's going great right now. We're using our offensive weapons just fine.
It's a lot of different. Look, Pete said it. We're a boa constrictor. We got a lot of different ways we can. Well, we got one way we can attack.
Yes.
So I guess we're not like a boa constrictor in my analogy. You know what? I'm doing a snake analogy. It's hard. I'm seeing how Postgame Pete is so special.
I don't know how he made. Only two people have made the snake a positive thing. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Peter Ariz.
Randy Orton?
The Viper was bald-headed Randy Orton. The guy was a menace.
Oh, you mean like a good guy thing?
Yeah.
Jake the Snake Robber was a face.
Yeah, but he was very sinister.
You know what? The snake was the first heel of the Bible. His first heel.
That's right. It's usually attributed to evil people or guys on Chelsea that leave for free transfers to Real Madrid. Snakes. Yeah. It's not a good thing to have assigned to your character, but Peter Ariz made it work.
24-inch python's good point for Manuel Gutierrez.
That's, yeah. Hulk Hogan would probably be turning over in his grave right now. That guy was a very devout Christian.
Hogan?
Yeah, I mean, it was like his thing.
You know, yeah, well, congrats to Hogan on his walkway in Clearwater. I've always wanted to visit Clearwater. I want to see, because it's like two towns. We talked about it. The Sinos.
Yeah. I want to
the
see
Sinos. It's one of the few slurs that you can still say, Sino.
Yeah.
That's what they say. That's what they call the Scientologist, from what I'm told. Let's see here.
Now's a great time for another ad. Do we have any more? Oh, we got a tout Canes connection. It's a bye week, and there's that sweet signed helmet Ruben Bain giveaway where you can get one of this generation's greatest defensive players, a guy that's going to be getting hardware at the next level, a guy that maybe could get drafted number 1 overall. You know, Canes Connection gifted me a Cam Ward signed autographed football, and when they handed it, I looked to my wife and I said, "This could be worth something one day." And it's never left a display. And now, a year later, I got the number 1 overall draft pick. Congratulations to Cam Ward for getting his first pro victory. I have a Cam Ward autographed football mounted on my display next to Baker Mayfield. I could have gotten rid of that football plenty of times. I didn't. And now look, he might be an MVP. I want this Ruben Bain signed helmet because I think Ruben Bain's destined for Sunday greatness. If you want an opportunity to get a Ruben Bain autograph on a helmet, what do you do, D-Money?
CanesConnection.com/CIS. And not only do you get things like the Ruben Bain signed helmet, you get Ruben Bain, because if there's no Canes Connection, there is no Ruben Bain. I promise you. You might be rolling with James Williams, the low motor white that you saw for FSU, or some other bums that the teams with worse collectives than us, Florida State, are trotting out there. If you like rolling out with a team that is better at every single position than its opposition, that's CanesConnection.com/CIS. Be part of it. Don't just pocket watch. Let's be part of the solution. Do what we can. We all spend money on the Canes one way or the other. Let's spend money on the only thing that matters, which is the team that is better than any other team and is played by a significant amount. So shout out to Canes Connection, the best collective on the planet.
I will pledge right now. I will donate $1,000 right now to Canes Connection right now. As grateful as I am to win back-to-back state championships, I'm going to donate $1,000 to Canes Connection right now. This happens. You ask people around the collective, hey, do you guys see an influx of people wanting to get involved in the collective after good performances? Brother, you wouldn't believe it. When we smack around our in-state competition, fundraising is not nearly as hard. So I'm doing this right now.
What a G.
Logging in.
Look at that.
Let me hit up my rep over there.
That's how putting your money
Funzo
where your
Restrepo.
mouth is. He's been talking, and now doing.
JG also owes me a two-toned hat.
Oh yeah.
Like I've been promised a merch drop here. Let me get one of those very expensive hats.
Well, I want to know, there was a very high profile advertisement of Canes Connection on TMZ. I don't know if we're allowed to discuss these things, but because I don't want to, I know people deal with publicists. You don't want to get into all that stuff and create any issues.
Look,
But
if it's on TMZ, it's fair game.
The legendary Danny Ramirez was spotted with Jessica Alba wearing a Canes Connection hat. Pete, can you find that picture on TMZ? Do you know what TMZ is? Are you familiar with the website of celebrity news and gossip?
Do you know what that
I've heard
stands
of
for?
it. I have to find who these people. Oh, I know who Danny is.
Pull that up. Lone Wolf says, even when Jake the Snake went face, it never felt right. He was still a heel. I would agree, but I mean, two great face moments. The promo on $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, the wallowing in the muck of avarice promo. Longfellow couldn't have said it better himself. One of the greatest moments of high art in professional wrestling. And I would say also the blindfold match. We talked about it on a couple shows ago, which was unbelievable. One of my favorite matches against Rick the Model Martel. So he represented the working man in those scenarios. Kind of like Stone Cold.
You
later
got
on.
this website trying to send me notifications now, man. Hold on here. Let me manage this thing.
If DJ Volume joins us next week, another $500 to the collective.
Whew, let's
All right?
go.
If he wants to be about Miami, if he wants to rep the Canes, $500 goes to the collective. I don't pay for interviews, but this will go through the collective.
We got
All right.
We got the $1 Million Man right
Reach
here,
out
except
to
he's a
at
face.
Peter Ariz. Reach out to Peter Ariz on social media. So let's get this thing booked. Peter, are you okay talking with DJ Volume if he reaches out to you?
Yeah, I'm the person who said the least derogatory things about him. So.
Yeah, but I mean, we're putting baby in a corner right now. If he's going after the guy D Money, we got to back up our friend.
There we go, right there. Look at that TMZ. How you like that? What's more big time than that?
Yeah.
There it is, right there.
Yeah. You know why he's got a huge smile on his face?
The Canes are 5-0.
No, it's because he's walking next to Jessica Alba, you idiot.
Because the Canes are 5-0, baby. Shout out to the legendary couple. Speaking of Canes Connection, man, you got to hit her up, man. She's the richest girl around. She's like a billionaire, I heard.
Yeah, look, we're all fans of Jessica Alba. She really wants to win us over. She'll be at Stanford.
Let's go.
She'll be at the military appreciation game against Stanford. All right. It's with this relationship's gone on long enough now that we need to see you at the tailgate.
Well, you're the $1 Million Man right now, but the babyface version, throwing money at Canes Connection. It's like you're stuffing money in the mouths of bad guys. Like Tommy Castellanos, get that $100 bill stuffed in there.
Loser. And I don't like to say that about people, especially not Cubans, but like what a
Castellanos, maybe he's Italian or something. Who knows? I never heard of a Castellanos.
I'm Italian too.
Yeah.
So I want to root for the guy, but he makes it very difficult. I'm sure he'll do fantastic in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Congratulations to you. Hell of a season.
All right. So we got off GABOS real quick, but I want to get back on because Pete, let's do our song of the week here because all the GABOS talk brought me back to a certain period in music, which was really 12 years ago, crazy to say, 2012, 2013. And I was a raw skeptic early. It wasn't my thing. I was more of a New York hip hop guy. And you were the one as a youngin' that really put me on. Not that I didn't know about him, but that really kind of pushed me to dive into the catalog. And then I became a big Rick Ross fan. This song right here, just kind of a mix of both styles, the New York rap that I'm most comfortable with and that I love the most with Rick Ross, Triple Beam Dreams. This song resonated on multiple levels. First of all, Nas, the beat was Justice League. Great beat. Unbelievable. Nas's verse on this one, of all his like political type raps, I thought this was the best one. Just really, he's kind of doing the Rick Ross style, but with a Nas twist. Great. Loved it. And then Rick Ross killed it on this one. I was actually living in Miami Beach. I still live in Miami Beach. I was living in an apartment at the time, and Pat Riley was the next building over. His apartment probably cost about 700 times what mine did at the time, but he was technically my neighbor. So Rick Ross's hook on this one, which is classic, Triple Beam Dreams. Now Pat Riley's. Well, Pete? What's the whole? Give me the whole refrain. I know it, but I know you know it.
I mean, now Pat Riley's my neighbor.
No,
right?
the whole early. What was it?
I finally Googled what triple beam means.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't do drugs, so I didn't know that. Did you know what it meant?
Rule number 1: you don't do business with a stranger. Early 90s reminiscent when I had a pager. Triple Beam Dreams. Now Pat Riley's my neighbor. By the way, Mike, explain this one to me. So we go out.
Yep.
Every time we're all together, the wives are there. My kids are there sometimes. We're always out and about in a very friendly family setting. And then you introduce me to new people. You're like, hey, this is Danny, my business partner.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a stranger. Whatever happened to this is my friend Danny. This is my guy.
Noted.
Noted. I noted it like 5 times ago. You're still doing it. What's going on?
No, I mean, I don't know.
Rule
I
number
have plenty
1,
of
don't
friends.
do business with a stranger.
I have plenty of friends. I don't have many business colleagues.
Don't do business with a stranger.
I don't do business with a stranger.
It feels like it sometimes.
Did you know what triple beam meant? Am I a loser for that?
I did, but not because I've actually sold drugs, just because I guess like science class.
Science class, huh?
Yeah.
I got a song of the week.
What's up?
You like this song? I sent it in the group chat today.
Oh, unbelievable.
Give
it to
and
us.
the Sniffers, an Australian rock band. They're actually coming to town next week. 3 Points, great festival. Shout out to David Sinopoli for putting that festival together. Cultural caretaker down here in Miami, always pushing the scene forward. And it's a hard town to push this scene forward. Yeah, you think he's just an EDM guy. You don't know. Like this guy, 3 Points always delivers one of the most eclectic lineups there is in music. Where else can you go to a music festival, watch Sean Paul, Chasing Status, Turnstile, Emil and the Sniffers? Denzel Curry's on this lineup. Unbelievable lineup. But this song was a really great rock song to start the decade. This song popped up on my radar, and now I've listened to more of their songs, and I can't wait to see this band in action. You listened to the song for the first time.
Loved it.
This song is phenomenal. Really fast-paced, hard rock, and slap you in the face type of song. And guess where they're from?
Australia, baby.
Per capita. They're creeping up in the conversation. Second consecutive week with an Oceania act.
These guys rock. This was the best of all the song choices that you've made. The songs that they were just new to me, and they've been some good ones. This one, by far, to me, my favorite. I want to listen to all their songs on the way over here from the light.
Yeah,
rocking and rolling.
You like Jackin'?
Jackin' was great. There was another
you know
one
what
like
that song's about, right?
Is it about Jackin'?
Yeah.
Okay. There was another one that was I mean, again, I just listened to all these songs on the way over. There's another really, really good one from that same album as that one. And they use space similar to AC/DC. AC/DC, the key to AC/DC sound is that they have parts of AC/DC songs where there's no music playing. That's the key to the AC/DC sound, is that the gaps make the parts that aren't gaps more powerful. That's the key to the AC/DC sound, the dynamics, the gaps. And I think with these guys, they do that. They rock. This chick really, I like her style. She was very aggressive. Just a lot of energy. It's catchy. I like how they put the solos at the end of the song. So they don't, it's not the typical solo placement. They usually wait till the very, very end of the song, and then they rip it. Loved everything about this band. I'm going to dive in further. So good choice here with Security. I guess this is like a type of drug, some kind of pill that they pop in Australia, this amyl. It's like some long pharmaceutical name.
I just like saying hot, let me in you hot.
Great song. As we've got a lot of people in the here we go. Hold on. Most popular Australian right now is Slow Jack. Who's that?
I don't know Slow Jack. I don't know Slow Jack. I don't know that fool.
Got a lot of comments here we got to get to. But yeah, great song choice. That was awesome. I wanted to give you this one, Mike. That's what I was looking for. M. Milan throwing $100 to Canes Connection. Not much, but support these boys, fella. That's a lot, and that is a lot. That's putting your money where your mouth is. That's being part of the solution. Shout out, Big M. Milan, doing his thing.
Don't let anybody make you feel bad about what you donate. The important thing is that you're donating. If you can give $25 and that's all your budget can take, and you don't want to make things too tight, that's cool. Donate $5 here or there. Hey, Miami scores a touchdown and CJ Daniels mocks a war chant, and you find some joy in that. It's not hard. Go to Canes Connection, donate $10. If thousands of people had that very same attitude, that equals a 5-star, folks. This is big time college football here. Look, we've been begging for this for decades over here. You're starting to show up to the games. That's all cool. The sport changed underneath us. Oh, well, you can actually get in the game. When this team does win a championship, and they will win a championship with Mario Cristobal as head coach, he will do that or die trying. He knows the assignment better than anybody. You can actually feel like you took part in that. It's not like the other sports. It's so transactional with the other sports. You buy a ticket, you go, you feel like you're part of the team, but it's not. It's not what this is. You act like your dollar actually contributes to something. It's a big time deal. Get involved, even if it's $10 at a time.
I was cracking up. EJ says Australia needs Jesus. He might have heard the first few parts of this song. By the way, if you into if you want to just expand your horizons, hear stuff, different kind of stuff from all over the map. CanesInSight playlist. Check it out. Just write CanesInSight into all the Spotify and iTunes or Apple Music, I guess they call it now, and put in CanesInSight. You'll see the playlist. Got to update it with this song, but man, unbelievable. Love this edition. It's all over the place. You got to hold on. You got to put on that little, what's that? It's not a seatbelt. What's that thing they put in the roller coasters? The
lap
bar.
Lap
the
bar.
lap bar. I got to put on the lap bar because it goes in different places. But that's what you got to do. You listen to the CanesInSight playlist. A lot of comments here I want to get to real quick because I got Duaso in the chat. So Raw Miami, if you guys aren't familiar with 7-on-7 scene down here, we've had him on the show. Raw Miami is the number 1 7-on-7 team on the planet. Our guy, Coach Duaso, he had a better wide receiver core than 90% of the teams in college football. He had Malachi Toney and Dallas Wilson at the same time. And more. Calvin Russell. He has some other dudes
Dallas
too.
Wilson looked good.
Real good. He also had Bryce Fitzgerald. So unbelievable squad. Shout out to Coach Duaso. He says, D-Money's a big NBA YoungBoy fan. I think I've told the story before, which is like that Carson Beck, when I interviewed him, he was talking about playing the piano. And I'm like, oh, what kind of music did you play on the piano? And his grandma who taught him the piano, what'd she play? Oh, Mozart, Beethoven. He went into a whole soliloquy about how music is emotional and you can feel without words. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm with you. And like, so what's on your playlist? He's like, well, NBA YoungBoy, NBA YoungBoy. Everybody of that age and below on the team, NBA YoungBoy. So I got to check it out. I actually had not listened to NBA YoungBoy. He got shot a few years ago, didn't he? Down here, I remember reading that in a group chat. Or no, that was a fake news. That might have been from Duaso, the fake news purveyor of all time. But yeah, got to check out some NBA YoungBoy and shout out to Duaso for
Google it. I have the tab open. What does triple beam mean? I'll just NBA YoungBoy shot? Question mark.
Let's go here. Young boy needs Jesus.
He had some incident down here with another rapper's crew.
Maybe he shot some.
I don't want to talk about this. It did happen in Miami. There was something there.
Yeah, there was something going on.
For the record, just like DJ Volume, direct all your questions to Peter Ruiz.
Australia is literally populated by a large amount of Britain's criminals, so it makes sense. Yeah, those guys do get down.
All right, wrestler of the week.
Let's go.
Does Peter Ruiz have one?
No, I don't.
Oh, dude, your Hardy Boys, they won the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Brother, I know. I still can't get over it.
Well, here you go. Nico Cooper, I played for Mike Leach, and he used everybody. The air raid starts with the Y position, which is the tight end. I am air raid and scored 14 TDs in it with Mike Leach and Hal Mummy. Shout out to you, Nico Cooper. And I mean, that's pretty good right there, Mike. Air raid starts with the Y position, which is the tight end, straight from the man that caught 14 touchdowns in that system, just like Alex Bowman's going to score some touchdowns in that system.
Grading on a curve of Mike Leach's offense there, that's like 5 touchdowns in a pro style.
That's all right. Well, hey, they all count. Rambo, he said, I would tune in right when the rest of the week comes on. Haha, that's when I turn the program off. I'll rewind to the start. Rewind to the start because at the first 2 minutes of the show, we give a very breaking JoJo Trader update. So if you want your JoJo Trader update, check out the first minute,
the first 70 seconds are just stellar
of this program. Cloud Fleet says Hispanic Heritage Month has to be Stephanie from WWE. She's actually Chilean. So you got to get the Chilean flag for Stephanie because she's Chilean.
Yeah, but she did wrestle a lot in Mexico, which is probably why the confusion there. But so only like slightly racist. Kind of like not knowing that Bad Bunny is American.
He's not. Mike, we're doing this.
Bad Bunny is American.
He's an American
citizen.
Proud Puerto Rican. Yeah. He's proud of where he's
from.
Like
I'm a Miamian that is also American.
All right. This one we're not doing. I wish him the best. I saw him perform as a wrestler and he was outstanding.
Yes.
With Miz. Great feel for wrestling. That was his first match.
That was a way harder crowd to win over.
Great. And then I saw him in concert. I'm a huge fan of the artist. What are we talking about? Good question. Oh, wait, hold on. Cloudfleet says, she said on Twitter, she wrestled Mexico.
Yeah, she wrestled a lot in Mexico. So that's, she's Chilean though.
Yeah, so all right, we'll get our flag straight for the next one. She's been the wrestler of the week probably twice. We're huge fans of what she does, Cloud Fleet. We could have had Hispanic heritage. We did not for this particular one, but it was appropriate, Mike, because you told me go to AEW, last week, Wednesday, at the Hard Rock, courtesy of yourself. Thank you for the tickets. Had a great crew out there. Had the CCW champion Domino. Zaslow did a great interview with Spolstra. One of the best Spolstra interviews I've heard. Shout out to Zaslow on his new podcast, Home, with you guys.
That's right. He's a part of Levitard and Friends.
So that was awesome. The boy Josh Appel, the voice. He's got to be calling wrestling one of these days. And of course, Mochet. It was a great crew. It was a phenomenal crew and a great, great time. The smaller venue, I thought, changed the whole dynamic. We saw him in that Panthers arena, and it was, I had fun because it was with everybody, but it was not like a fun show to me. This one, awesome. So my wrestler of the week was someone that you had hyped, and I'm giving the thumbs up to Kyle Fletcher. Classic wrestler, old school style, worked the crowd.
Wow. Look how much better his body is now. Like, that's an older photo there. Kyle Fletcher worked on his body.
He's got the same chef as Ruben Bain.
You stopped yourself. I appreciate that. Is this because you shared an elevator with him and he was nice?
No, that actually was a downgrade. I wish he was a heel. He should have been trying us in the elevator. I appreciated him. I would have liked him sticking with the gimmick a little more, but I wanted to give you credit because you were hyping him up and the whole show up, and it was a fun show. So, this is a Mike Appreciation Day. I liked your Song of the Week choice quite a bit. I enjoyed the AEW show.
It must be my birthday.
And I'm wishing you that happy Mike Gundy Day.
Yeah.
Here.
I'm really into Kyle Fletcher. This guy's had several Match of the Year candidates just this year. Great nickname, the Protostar. Working with Don Callis, who very sneakily is making an argument, as we've covered before, as one of the better managers of the generation. Granted, non-Paul Heyman category. He's got that one on lock. But Kyle Fletcher, if you're having a draft right now on wrestlers that are active, he's a top 5 draft pick. If you're trying to project for a ceiling,
well, the thing is, these guys wrestle till
young.
they're like 50 now, so I might just go pick the top guys now.
You might still go. Look, I'm acknowledging that Roman still,
but under an age, he's in the conversation. Under a certain age,
like it's Hangman's also still quite young. Outside of Hangman probably goes first, maybe Swerve. Swerve is probably in that conversation, and then Kyle,
Braun Breaker,
yeah.
I mean,
Braun, I'm finally starting to see
half the women's division.
I'm finally starting to see
they're pretty young. But AJ says, Mark, welcome to the show. This is
yeah.
But yeah, I would say he's in the conversation. I like the whole show. I'm giving the whole show props. That tag team match with Kenny Omega was awesome. He looked a little old.
He's older.
He's taking a beating, but he knows how to keep the match moving. It was a great match.
Health problems.
I'll tell you the brothers, the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks are great.
They call them the Jackson Brothers. That's their name, right?
Nick and Matt.
Shoot Butters. Shoot Butters. Shoot Brothers. Shoot Butters. Great. Seeing them live, the chemistry, the spots, the timing, unbelievable. So shout out to AEW. Great show. Thank you for the invitation. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a great program.
Although I will say the negative though, Mike.
Yeah.
We were walking out of it's in the Hard Rock. So we're out here with the biggest marks on the planet. We are among them, right? So marking out, nerdy as can be. And then we walk into the casino and it's good looking girls dressed nice, people throwing money around, and we're still in mark mode. I've never felt more like a dork than that transition to the parking lot. It was a tough transition for me.
It's the first time that I haven't seen Madison Cawthorn just rolling around there on a heater when I walk out of Hard Rock Live. 9 times out of 10, you'll see that.
No comment. No comment. It was the wrestler of the week.
My wrestler of the week is Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green has been working for a long time in this business, did a lot of great stuff, a lot of intergender wrestling. I had an incredible match with Penta, actually, in Lucha Underground. Right now, knocking it out the park. And by the way, great on the mic, really solid in the ring, gorgeous woman in person.
Really?
Gorgeous in person. Really, really cool vibe around her. It's got that Canadian humor thing going for her.
Great timing.
Incredible timing. I love the gimmick right now. Chelsea Green should be, I think in a couple of years' time, if she gets a little bit better in the ring, not that she's bad at all right now, she may be too good at the comedy aspects to ever be taken super seriously, which is why some people that have that good comedic timing try to shy away from that stuff. It's only later in their careers do they try to turn to some of that stuff because they're worried about how it'll get held against them. Chelsea Green saw lane. There isn't anyone super funny in the women's division. She's authentically funny, and she's done she's done so much with the opportunities that she's been given. I hope that she's a world champion one day. I'm a huge Chelsea Green fan. There are very few times when I'm watching the product on WWE that I'm like, oh, let me put the sound on for this. When she's on the screen or she's doing a bit or a backstage segment, I want to put the volume up because I know it's going to be something highly entertaining. Chelsea Green is an absolute superstar, one of the best going right now.
James Kane says she's the female equivalent of R-Truth, a good comp there. I would say her facial expressions are classic old school wrestling, where like you could see it from the top, like Sensational Sherry,
Mm-hmm.
who to me is the best manager of all time when you factor in bumps and everything else, and just being completely out of her mind at all times. She would like have such like upset reactions when things didn't go her way that if you were standing in the cheapest seat, you could still see that she was very frustrated. Chelsea Green to me is like that, where she doesn't need to have these like super zoomed in camera angles to show her emotion. You could see it from any seat in the arena. So I shout out to Chelsea Green. She's wearing the USA jersey because she was the USA champ, but I believe she is Canadian.
She is Canadian, but her gimmick is that, she is, the US champion. So
Right.
she's got her security detail. What is it? What do they call it? The Secret Hervis.
Great gimmick.
Great. Yeah, it's a fantastic gimmick. And I would be a great pick for a surprise Royal Rumble winner.
Hervis?
Secret Hervis, because her Secret Service is comprised of two women.
I knew a kid named JC Hervis. That's why I was a little bit.
That's a great detail, Pete. Thank you.
I was a little confused.
Shout out to JC Hervis.
Hervis.
Shout out. That could be the
Hervis,
title
man.
of today's episode. Shout out JC Hervis.
Yeah.
I hope you're a fan
It's a
of
good one.
Canes football, indie rock, and professional wrestling.
Hop in, JC Hervis.
Good kid.
Oh boy, Pete. Love you, pal.
The last time Pete dropped in with one of those, he was trying to tell me that there was some Cuban girl named Caroline. I had to correct because her name was like Esmeralda or something.
No, it was Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Ed Milan. Hey, what about the Steiner brothers equal Bane and Messer? You know what? They're not brothers, okay? But in terms of size, in terms of power, that's the most powerful tag team of the time. Probably the most powerful defensive end tandem of the time.
Who's in competition for like Miami's best defensive tandem? Best
Defensive
end
ends?
tandem.
I'll tell you the best defensive end tandem that never was, which was Jalen Phillips and Rousseau. Roche was actually pretty good too. That was a good one. Phillips and Roche.
Yeah, but it's not that you couldn't compare that to this.
Oh no, but they were good. I mean, Phil's all America, but yeah, I would say this is better.
Roche wasn't.
Messidor was better than Roche. It's a great question. I get all because I wasn't around for all those 80s and 90s teams. They always had good defensive ends, but I don't know which order
Who
they
was
were all
opposite of
together.
Kennard Lang? Who was on that team? I feel like he was
Rusty Medeiros and Kevin Patrick from Johnny Lagoon. Let's see what else you got here.
You have to like scan your brain to find someone that's better.
I like this. G5 Mike Norvell. Novel. Oh, Kenny Holmes, Kennard Lang. They were a good one. They were a nice tandem.
That'd probably be the one.
That's a good tandem.
I think Messidor and Bane are better though.
Yeah, I agree. There's something we're forgetting. I know. So we need.
I'm sure you could also see like you
This
could
is a
also cherry
Steve
pick some
Kim.
rosters.
Yeah, this is a Steve Kim question.
This is
Steve
Steve
Kim
Kim.
will come out. Come out here and say, back in.
We need. I wish we had Steve Kim on
Yeah.
the show, but it'd be like Crossfire right now.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't think he's my biggest fan, but I really enjoy the hits. I listen to every single one of those episodes. He's got a brilliant archival mind when it comes to that stuff. It's a good question, but I would say like the qualifier needs to be, we've had some pretty stacked rosters. It needs to be guys that were actually playing alongside. I'm sure if you go back, you can cherry pick a time where like Russo and Phillips were on the roster at the same time or something like that, but they have to be playing at the same time. Bookend defensive ends that are playing first team snaps consistently together. That's the qualifier. What is the best Miami Hurricanes defensive end tandem ever?
Truth over falsehood is begging me to pull up his question. And here we go. I live in Fort Worth. I really want to go to the SMU game. Anyone have tickets they want to get rid of or sell cheap? Also, what time will it be? There's a monster truck show the same day. Want to take my boys. Not sure on the time. Not sure on the time. The tickets. Mike, do you have any tickets you want to sell cheap?
I actually gave a spare ticket that I had to my boy Eagle-Eyed Dan Nicoletti. There's a good contingent of
Shout out
us.
Dan
I
Nicoletti.
need to get my tickets for the game. I'm going with my dad. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good, solid contingent of Miami Hurricanes fans that are heading out to Dallas. It should be a fun time for the Halloween weekend. On game time, we'll find out 2 weeks before, which is not great for travel plans. Unfortunately, I don't. We all saw that game and thought, okay, here comes a night game for SMU, but SMU hasn't really held up their end of the bargain. And probably, if we had to guess, you feel like a 330.
Yeah, that SMU stinks. Oh, I shouldn't say that. They got dangerous players.
No, they got.
We're past the crapping on rivals.
I think, like, we were having a debate here in the group chat. I think Miami will be a single-digit favorite on the road at SMU.
They're awful, man. I don't know. I think it will be like
Awful is not. I
think we win by 3 touchdowns.
I think this 9.5.
Notre Dame's a 3 touchdown favorite over NC State. I'm not going to spoil it. That's at home, but I don't know, man. SMU, they're in trouble. Let me say. So you mentioned the eye black. It was Bryce Fitzgerald who got that pick, who you've been hearing about all camp, or you were hearing about all camp on the CanesInSight podcast. I believe we were the first ones to tell you that he was going to be a major factor this season. I believe that's living up to it. But he was wearing the F Cancer eye black, right? So those of us,
the uncensored F Cancer,
all of us, most of us have been affected by this disease. Agree with the message. There's a great opportunity to help the fight against cancer with the rare triple win. And that is KashKick, KashKick, one of the top apps on the planet over Pinterest. On the do you have any lifestyle apps? Pinterest, any of these lifestyle apps?
Let me check.
Number 4 on the lifestyle apps list is KashKick, KashKick, 100% legit, over 1.5 million downloads. You can sign in with Facebook, Google, whatever you want to do. It's totally legit. Connects it to PayPal. And what it does is it gets all your games that you want to play on your phone congregated. So whether you like the puzzles, whether you like fashion makeover, your daughter wants to play that game, animal coins, whatever, or you want to do some kind of fighting game, an RPG, something a little more explosive, sports, they got it all on KashKick. It puts them all together. And then while you're playing and enjoying these games, you're making extra money and your side goes right into your PayPal. So nice little bonus on the side. And then the third win, the triple win, is that with this Play It Forward campaign, the advertisers working with KashKick will match every dollar that you earn that goes in your pocket with a donation to the American Cancer Society. So you don't have to donate yourself. It's donated for you on your behalf. So win, win, win. It's the Play It Forward campaign. KashKick, KashKick.
Do we want to make our picks? We're about to bring this thing home, aren't we?
Ooh, yeah. Got to make our picks. Pete, do you have a graphic for that? We're doing the blind.
I do.
Oh, let's get the graphic up here. Here we go. So, Mike, you're on a nice little run.
Yeah. College football been very, very good to me this season so far.
So let's start it because we both in the same place. So I'll let you take the floor. Mizzou plus 3.5. Why you like Mizzou?
Ahmad Hardy is very quietly the best running back in the nation. I like the quarterback situation there. It'll be really interesting to see how this game starts. Look, I was on Vanderbilt last week. I know Vanderbilt didn't cover. I bet the right side there. They ran it up there. But if you watch that game was a lot tighter than the final score suggested. Kalen DeBoer, I thought it was last week. He's not good as a big favorite. This is a rat poison week. Everybody's feeling Alabama. We were in Tallahassee. We were there for a night game. We were there. We played that FSU team. Alabama played that FSU team. Now, I know transitive property is telling a lot of lies in college football lately in the NIL era. Parity, guys get up for certain games. Alabama was very clearly not prepared for that game. Mizzou's good. Mizzou, it is all in front of Mizzou to be a college football playoff team. Look at how nice that schedule. This is the toughest game on their schedule. They got them at home. This line opened up at 4.5. It's down to 3.5, and I assure you, it ain't because the general betting public is hammering Mizzou. Sharps know this is going to be a tight game, and if Mizzou gets off to a good start, they have the running back to salt this game away. I think it's going to be close, as the line suggests, but it wouldn't surprise me entirely if Alabama appeared flat to us because we know they have that potential. I like Mizzou here, and I think Ahmad Hardy will become one of those guys that is talked about with the Heisman after this game.
I'm with you 100%. I think Missouri wins this game. KCC Kane says 2025 is not your daddy's Bama. That's right. And quite frankly, I'm appalled by the way they play. I know they're a good team. Their passing game is exceptional. I hate the way they play. Maybe it's I don't know, Stockholm syndrome after watching Alabama win championships a certain way for so many years. But to see Alabama throwing it on 4th and 1, it's not Alabama style of football. Alabama football is being played, at least the kind that won championships, is being played at the University of Miami, not in Tuscaloosa. That's done. I think you have a West Coast coach he's brought a West Coast style to that team. Not to get political, but I don't think that style belongs in the Deep South. It is abysmal to watch. They are a passing finesse, all quarterback and receivers team. They cannot run the ball. Or they can run the ball, but they don't commit to it. They can't stop the run. Vanderbilt's pushing them around. I just hate to see Alabama play that style. Oh, I like it if we had a plan, because I think if we played them, we'd have a very clear path to victory, just run it down their throats.
They do have a talented roster, though.
They do. Their passing game is sick. Great core. DeBoer has them on point. Isaiah Horton is a really good number 3. Of course, Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard leading that show. And then Ty Simpson, we talked about him being a very good distributor of the football. Not overly talented, but he can move around a little bit. Had a nice touchdown to Ryan Williams where he scrambled around and threw it. I love their passing game. I don't like their physicality. Mizzou is a sneaky trenches program. They had some really good trenches.
Dude, I was looking at some of these measurables on these guys. They're big.
Pete knows he recruited someone out of Missouri. They've been putting out first rounders, second rounders, third rounders on the lines, defensive line and offensive line. Armand Membu just this past season. They got some guys this year. Damon Wilson, who's from Venice, Florida, he's a 5-star who signed with Georgia. He was supposed to be Georgia's best pass rush this year, to show you how far Georgia's fallen and how much parity's caught up. Missouri took Damon Wilson just as he was about to become Georgia's main pass rusher. They took him to Missouri. Now he's their best pass rusher. They got a nasty pass rush. Zion Young on the other side. They can really get after it. And Georgia can't rush the passer a lick. So changing of the guard in the SEC, Georgia not what they once were. Alabama not what they once were. And I think Alabama's starting to get their reputation back up a little bit. I think Missouri brings them back down to earth. Love Perbula. Love the way he plays. He can run. He can throw. He's a better passer, I think, than Pavia. At least more talented passer than Pavia. Runs similarly. I like Missouri here big to win this one.
Yeah, this is my game of the week, no doubt. So we're aligned. And usually when we're aligned, money. We make some money when we're aligned on that. I'm going to go over to Pitt because I was just in Tallahassee and I saw that team, and I don't think they're very good. And I was really impressed with what Pitt did. That is a ballsy quarterback change that they made, going in the way they go in the direction of the 18-year-old. They were phenomenal last week. Pitt, I mean, they're kind of like a helter-skelter team a little bit, but so is FSU. And what we talked about at the start of the show, the start of the show that you were able to hear, I don't know how I don't have a lot of evidence that Mike Norvell coach teams know how to handle adversity. So I'm going to bet on history here. I'm going to bet on Mike Norvell's ACC record, which is sub 500, by the way. This is too many points. It's too many points. FSU has to prove it to me, and they haven't over the last couple of weeks. And they're playing a real school, not the Kent States of the world. I'm going to go Pitt here. I think you got figured out a little bit. The tape's out there. Man, I'm going to take the points. Pitt Panthers, 10.5.
I like it. One thing that's going to be interesting to watch is when I watch Pitt, they're down in talent in some ways. ACC, I think, as a whole is down. But one area where they're really, really particularly good is they have 2 of the fastest, most instinctive linebackers in the country. Really, these guys are more like safeties. They're not the biggest guys in the world, but they're both extremely fast and productive. Kyle Lewis, Rasheed Biles. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them are postseason all-ACC players, maybe with the Wesley Bassant or Mo Toure. But all that side-to-side movement, all the stuff that FSU does, linebackers like this, I can see them having huge games. They're definitely better than anything FSU has on defense. So watch Biles and Lewis, linebackers for Pitt. You are undefeated, I believe, picking against our rivals. So that's been good for you.
Yeah, a team that almost made my card made your card. I want to talk about that because you mentioned our rivals. I know we're going a little out of sequence here, but let's talk a little bit about this game. I think the line is about to move down in this Florida game. May have already moved down. I was actually lucky enough to lock in Mizzou at 4.5 earlier in the week. Let's talk about this very interesting game in College Station, D-Money, because they made your card and they just finished outside of mine.
Texas A&M's doing a really, really good job. I like their team. They can run the ball with power. Their speed's starting to pick up Owens, who was a really big recruit for them.
Reed has developed quite nicely, too.
Oh, yeah, and he can run, he can throw. I like how he's built mentally. He just makes good decisions.
And are we willing to say that maybe I was onto something with Casey Concepcion when it came to the great Xavier Restrepo debate of 2024?
He is currently the best Hispanic receiver in college football. Currently. Last year I lost. You had me in the first half. Can't lie. But Concepcion's looking really good, and he's going to have a much better pro career. He's awesome. And then, Craver is really dynamic as well, the Mississippi State transfer. So they're explosive. They can run the ball with power. They can run the ball with some speed now that Owens is getting going. Reed can run. Reed can throw. Their offensive line's very good. They're very complete. Their defense is starting to come together as well. So I like Texas A&M. So this is a hard pick for me to make. That's just too big a number for me. I think this is going to be a close game. DJ Lagway's got a lot of confidence. I'm in on DJ Lagway and Arch Manning. I've been in on these guys. I'm not jumping off the bandwagon, even though we completely destroyed them. Obviously, Miami's defensive line's on another level than Texas. What can you say? But I like DJ Lagway. I like his ability. I think he's very confident. Obviously, Dallas Wilson makes a big difference. Vernell Brown makes a big difference. I mean, he was there, but he's rolling. The offensive line will do better against non-Miami defensive lines. Just feels like they have a lot of juice and excitement behind them, and I don't see this being a 7.5-point defeat.
I'm with you. I was really impressed with how great Florida's defensive line played against Texas. Shocking development of what's happened with Texas. They ignored the transfer portal when it came to some deficiencies that they had in the offensive line, losing some guys against. I said the stat today on the Levitard show. I was looking at some really good highlight packages of Arch Manning. I thought he performed really well. I thought he was the least of their problems. I'm buying all the Arch Manning stock. Not as bullish on DJ Lagway, although some of the arm angles that he had they were very impressive. Yeah. Dallas Wilson, I know, made a big difference.
Dallas Wilson made those arm angles look really good.
Yeah. No, I mean, DJ Lagway was impressive, but you still have some of the injury stuff. And like, I don't think Arch Manning's confidence gets rattled. I am a little worried about between the ears stuff with DJ Lagway a little bit. Might be a little bit of a front runner. That team obviously runs on vibes. So vibes are good. Maybe they're doing that let's say Billy thing again. I think it's too many points. This is a really good defensive line, a really tough defense. Carson Beck's had the best game out of any quarterback. Remember all the zip conversations and that driving rainstorm. Carson Beck ended up having the best game any quarterbacks had against Florida's defense. You mentioned Arch Manning. Texas, another team that just missed out on my card because it's a great betting spot for them. But the things that Oklahoma does very well would seemingly bother Texas. So I'm staying away from that for now. But on Florida, I will be putting my money where my mouth is. Didn't make my card for this segment, but it will make my betting card ultimately. Just too many points. And I think this is an emotional Florida Gator team that is going to do the thing. They obviously fight for their head coach. Even in that game against Miami, they had opportunities to quit and they didn't. I think they're going to do that thing again where they make Florida fans think, oh, maybe Billy is the guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you said it best when you said they run on vibes. This is not. This is a program that
strange team.
They're very weird, but when they're rolling, they're rolling. So I'm gonna go with them when they're rolling.
Quickly, I'm taking Michigan State minus 9.5 just because I didn't want to have all dogs on my card here. The reason for this is I don't think UCLA is really any kind of good. I think Penn State kind of stinks. And it starts at the top, much like it does with Mike Norvell. Excuse machines galore. But I have watched this Michigan State team this season, and they've impressed me. I like their head coach. I think Childs is a good quarterback. And I think that cross country, well, it's not cross country, but it's crazy Big Ten travel with UCLA feeling themselves as a 1-win team. Give me that betting spot all day long. They are not that good. It is a tough place to play with a well-coached team. I think Sparty will be prepared to give me the 9.5.
So you can't see the quote here, but he's saying, I no longer, this Aiden Childs, quarterback for Michigan State, talented player. He says, I no longer care about the fans at all. This will not be the same as next year. I can promise you that.
I actually don't mind that quote. I know you can rip it out of context, but what he's saying is like, I don't care about the noise.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks that care about the noise. Aiden Childs, like, he's probably one of those names that we ignore. I think he's kind of tethered to his head coach, right? There's a couple of those quarterbacks that you don't even really entertain. Like Arch Manning is not an actual viable portal candidate, but Aiden Childs is, if you want a fantasy book, like potential portal targets, he's a pretty good quarterback. I'm a fan of his. You have NC State. I think Notre Dame's
of portal.
Yeah, I think exactly. Speaking of portal, I think Notre Dame's a bit of a wagon right now. Is this just a too many point situation
too many points
for you?
I like Notre Dame, obviously.
They've been covering some big spreads.
I had it. Maybe it's interesting. I'm picking up against two teams I like, Texas A&M and Notre Dame. Two teams I like how they're built. I don't like these spreads. They're too much. The Florida game, I think, is really a wild card. I think Notre Dame will beat NC State, but 22.5, I like CJ Bailey. I think he's someone that knows how to make decisions. He's talented. He can run. He can throw. There's enough talent on that team. They got Hollywood Smothers, unless he got hurt and I don't know about it. That's a big number. Something's up. But I just think NC State backdoors that one. That's too many points. I don't think this is going to be a close game where you're worried about Notre Dame losing necessarily, but I do think that NC State goes ahead and gets that done.
Yeah, what do you think about that Red River game? I mean, it's tough.
Let's assume Mateer plays because there's too much stuff about him playing that I would assume he plays. I think you said it. I mean, Oklahoma's defensive line against Texas's that Texas offensive line. I like Arch, man. I like him more after seeing that game because he's getting smoked.
Me too.
He's getting smoked. He's not blaming his terrible offensive line.
Pressured on 38 of 75 snaps against Ohio State and Florida.
Yeah, it's ugly. Tyreek Sapp, we didn't even see him against Markel Bell, and then he was all over the field. So I think Arch Manning, look, he's not going anywhere. And Pete, I want to get your thoughts on this because he's not going anywhere. So this is very much hypothetical. But would you take Arch Manning next year on the Canes if you wanted to move down here?
No doubt.
You know, actually, Pete, when that Rick Ross song came out, I was in the Portofino Yacht Club, right, which is in Miami Beach. Next to it, and much more expensive apartments, was the Portofino building, which and the Continuum, both next to each other, which housed Pat Riley and Peyton Manning. So not only was Pat Riley my neighbor in my triple bean dreams, Peyton Manning actually was as well. I wonder if he still got the place and if he's shown Arch around, you know, maybe the place you can get away from the hype a little bit, blend into the beach. And that could be a fit with this offensive line. That offensive line for Texas needs a lot of work.
I agree. I would welcome him with open arms.
Pete, what's your soccer pick of the week?
Go ahead.
My what?
Do you have a soccer pick of the week?
It's, international break, so I know they
You don't have. We have AFCON going on.
Yeah. I have SofaScore open right now. Let me see what we got here. Ooh, yes, we just beat Indonesia in the World Cup qualifiers.
Who's we?
Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Let me see.
Peculiar dude,
What do
man.
we got tomorrow?
We can give you some time. You can filibuster.
Anything sticking out here to me? I'll give me a second.
Wait,
I want you to make some picks.
We got a comment from Lord Bagington asking why you're getting ready. Yeah, to get to any thoughts you have, Pete, on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, on college football in general. Give us your thoughts. Lord Bagington saying how you guys like Michigan over USC. I'll tell you this, on a football basis, I like it. The problem is Michigan's got to go all the way over to the West Coast. That's been very, very bad for teams. You saw it with Penn State. You've seen it all over the place. So that to me is really my hesitation on just a football standpoint. This is neutral field. I would have liked this pick a lot. I like Michigan. I think Bryce Underwood, very impressive to me. Every time I see him, he gets better. He's super talented. I like Michigan. I like the way they run their program. I love everything about Michigan. I hate everything about USC, but that trip is a tough one. So that was why I didn't touch this one.
Why is the U.S. favored against Ecuador in the friendly?
That's the one. Let's take Ecuador. That's the one.
Me and my Ecuadorian brother Jose Lasso, we will be in the tricolor for that one.
They eat soup for every meal.
Martin Dubé says I should do a documentary on Pete and his encyclopedic knowledge of worldwide soccer leagues. Wait, so you said
Breakfast soup is wild.
What kind of soups do they?
I thought breakfast soup was oatmeal, but they apparently have a breakfast soup.
Good.
They have soup with every meal. I'm a big soup guy, but breakfast soup is crazy.
Soup with every meal.
Sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, and that's not the one. I always get the two capitals mixed up. One capital or two?
They have two capitals in Ecuador.
Two capitals.
Quito is one of them, right?
Ball, man.
What's the other one?
I don't know.
La Paz.
I
remember what they were. I just don't remember if it was Ecuador or Bolivia. So what's Bolivia's deal? What do they got going on?
Not very good.
I don't know. Chat, help us out.
What's Bolivia
going on?
What has Bolivia got going
All right,
on?
that was 2 hours. That's pretty solid.
Oh, wait.
For a bye week.
Are you out the door? Because I got a question I got to ask you your opinion on something very quick. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You got time?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't hear you opine on this in the group chat. You might have been running, the biggest podcast in sports. But Rolling Stone put out a list.
Yeah.
Of the 250 greatest songs of the 21st century.
Yes. My takeaway is this list must be in reverse order because number 250 was Drops of Jupiter by Train.
It was like a diss what they do, something like this. So they want to show you it. My problem with lists like this, they're always trying to make a statement. So here, okay, I see this. Great. Then I see the number.
Fantastic song.
Wait,
Train, super underrated.
Have there been that many good songs that this is number 250?
I mean, I could probably rattle off 250 great Train songs.
Tweet, oops, oh my.
That's a good one. That song's about masturbation.
Ahead of Drops of Jupiter. Fleet Foxes. Come on, man.
Okay, I'm
That's not even the best Fleet
for
Foxes
3
song.
for knowing any of these songs.
Yeah, there's no. You know who got his start?
No, you know the Train song. Chill, Pete.
You know
the
who got his
song.
start in
You've
Fleet
been
Foxes.
in a CBS.
You've been there.
I do not know any of these songs.
You know
this. I don't know.
I'm sure if I heard like a tune inside lyric, but I
never had the best soy latte that you ever had.
That's the song.
That's the song. Yeah, you got that one.
No. I thought that was like a commercial, like what you were saying.
It's used in commercials.
You know who got his start in Fleet Foxes?
Who?
Father John Missy was their original drummer.
I don't even know anything about Fleet Fox. I'll be honest with you. People like it's a negative thing. I'm sorry. I discredit these guys based on
You've never heard the
appearance.
song Mykonos by Fleet Foxes?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna send you Mykonos. That song bangs.
There's no band that looks like this.
Hey,
that
I'm
is good.
DJing at Las Rosas.
We're not
on
going
Saturday.
through all 250 of these,
I might
are
play
we?
Mykonos.
So, anyways,
Wait, we're not actually gonna go through
No,
all
but the
250
top
of these.
10
Yeah, I can do that all day.
Back to Black. This to me is a top 10 song
Mhm.
of the century. Easy. Casey, no, I wouldn't put that there. Bad and Bougie. That's a pretty good song.
Great
I
song.
know that one.
So now this is a pretty good
Call
song.
Me Maybe.
Blinding Lights.
Blinding Lights is the biggest song ever.
Ariana Grande. I'm
Don't know
not
it.
with this one.
It's Grande.
Don't know either.
I hate
lose
Eminem.
yourself,
I'm the
I
biggest
know.
Eminem hater there is. This song should not be number 39. It should be a top 10 song of the century. If we're being honest, again,
Rapping on my porch, produced by Scott Storchin.
this is not my favorite.
Don't know this one.
This is not my favorite top
Don't
10.
know that one.
BTS, guys. What are we doing out here?
I mean, I think that's you may have a K-pop line spot.
Mitski? Who is Mitski?
No,
Mitski.
Who is Mitski?
I love Mitski. She's got a great album. She's a good singer-songwriter, dude. You're sleeping on Mitski.
A lot of people are sleeping on Mitski. If you
That's
raise your
true.
hand in the chat if you're sleeping on
A
Mitski.
lot of people are sleeping on Mitski. I won't doubt that.
LCD Sound System. I always see them on these lists. I never actually heard
You
one of
don't
their
know?
songs.
Oh my god!
I see they're on these lists all the time.
You don't know? You don't know LCD Sound System?
Not even a little bit.
That's not even the Best Lord song. That
It's the
cannot
same.
be
The what's the song? The famous one.
Royals.
Royals. That's a good song, but this I never heard of this one. Lana Del Rey. I mean,
No
again,
clue.
this
No
I'm not with this
Relation,
one
okay.
here. I'm not with that one.
No
This is a good
clue.
That's
song.
an incredible song. That's
Since
a
You've
top
Been
10
Gone.
song of the 21st century.
Are you coming? I'm not doing this the whole
Confessions.
list. I like this. I like
No,
this format. Let's
keep-
just roll it.
Just scroll it. Confessions,
Usher
great
Confessions.
song.
That's good. Good
It's
album. I would put Love in the Club maybe a little higher for me, or something along those lines. Of course, right here, players.
That's
Irony-
properly rated.
I'll tell you the irony of UGK, one of the greatest bands of all time, is to me the best duo come out of the South. All respect due to Outkast. This to me are my guys. The irony is UGK did not want to do Big Pimpin' because they wanted to stay the underground kings, and they were worried that it would get too big. Pimp C told the story on one of his solo albums, so he didn't want to do Big Pimpin' because he knew it was going to be a hit, and he wanted to stay underground. Then the last song he did when he died was this one.
Just bet Ecuador, Pete.
Which was the first #1 of their career. So the Underground Kings, in fact, ended above ground at #1. Little side story. That song definitely deserves to be on here. One more time, Daft Punk, not my
That's
style.
one
But
of
you got
the
to do it.
greatest. Come on, that's one of the
You
greatest.
got to do it.
songs
Yeah, you got to
ever.
kind of include it.
We
Rihanna,
Found Love.
a good song.
That's a DJ Volume special right there.
I like Umbrella for me of this kind of song. Mr. Brightside, not for me, but I know it's a
But
big song.
you have to respect it.
I respect it, and I think it is completely inappropriate for college football because it's kind of just it's like a Manhattan apartment lane kind of song.
I don't know how this one became so much bigger than somebody told me.
Yeah, I'm not. Whatever. It deserves to be there on notoriety. If I'm being objective, 99 Problems. Yeah, we'll let that one go. This song was a great song. The video, obviously, you don't want to get caught watching that one. It's kind of
Pink Pony Club deserves to be. That's top 10 quality.
Yeah, it's a good song, no doubt. So we have some good songs here. Now here we go. WizKid featuring Thames. Pete, weren't you fighting with Thames in the comments yesterday? Did you have a battle?
Temmie.
Oh, that was Temmie. Temmie. Maybe it was, I don't know if there's any relation between Tem and Temmie. Thames, WizKid. Who is WizKid? Have you ever heard of this guy?
WizKid, I have.
I've seen the name.
He has some.
I've seen the
some
name.
songs.
Nigerian. Okay, so is this like
WizKid, I know.
is this like Afro beats?
Afrobeat.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Well,
WizKid.
a little high. I mean, a little high. I've not heard of this particular
Better
song.
than some of the other
Come on, we only have 21 more.
trash that they have.
We're
on there.
rolling. Top
That-
10.
Yes.
Top 10.
Yeah. All
There's
respect to
nothing
Lady
else to
Gaga.
say.
I love this song.
Trash.
Bad Habit by
I
Steve
thought
Lacy
this
is a
was.
great
I
song.
thought this was about to be a Future song.
He
I never
doesn't
heard of
like
this. I
Future,
never
though.
heard of this song.
Steve Lacy. Oh man, he's a part of the group, the Internet. That's how I became familiar with Steve Lacy. I saw Steve Lacy as a part of a really cool music festival that had LCD Sound System and Idols on the bill. Steve Lacy was one of the headliners. I love that song, Bad Habit.
They got it as he won the best progressive R&B out. Do we need progressive R&B?
Gemini Rights.
Can't we just keep it the way it is? Do we need progressive R&B?
No, I can rest assured you're sleeping on Fleet Foxes and Steve Lacy.
This song right here, or Rolling in the Deep. Pick your Adele song. Explain.
This one's a better jukebox song.
Let's start with this one, Mike, because I want to talk about this.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
wait,
Here-
we're really
here's my-
gonna
here's my
break
thing.
the rest of these down.
Here's my thing, Pete.
Pete, hop out.
I have a belief about music. Okay, when you talk about ranking the best songs objectively, right? Objectively ranking the best songs. Okay, I call it the Africa Yugoslavia test. If Michael Jackson,
He was
classic
checking his
example
phone.
of this. Michael Jackson, I would say, is the king of the Africa Yugoslavia test because Michael Jackson, if you put Michael Jackson on in any of the countries in Africa, you are going to get a response. If you put Michael Jackson on in any of the countries of the old Yugoslavia, you will get a response. That is a truly legendary artist. I'm not even the biggest Michael Jackson fan, but you got to call it like you see it. Adele sold 1 billion albums weighing about 300 pounds. And she sold 1 billion albums at that weight. Because so you're telling me she doesn't have one of the top 10 songs of the century?
I would say that her catalog doesn't match the fanfare.
What part?
The fact that she doesn't have like really like smash radio hits. She has a handful of them.
Like she sold 1 billion records.
I
Rolling in the
understand.
Deep was a
Yeah,
huge,
you know who else sold like 1 billion records because they played it at Starbucks? Nora Jones. It's not a timeless artist. Now I am a big Adele fan. She might actually be. The rumors are she's secretly married to Rich Paul already. I like Adele. This is a great song. She's got like 3 big time radio hits, and that doesn't necessarily match up with her fame because I think she is certified and rightfully considered one of the voices of her generation.
Rolling in the Deep, huge
We're
radio
at 19.
song.
I don't have time to
Somebody
do this
like
discourse.
you, someone like you. Okay, so this was.
I like Chasing Pavements, but that's not a big radio hit.
No, this was a huge radio. Someone
Yes,
like you, huge.
this was her biggest radio hit.
Rolling in the Deep was huge too.
That's 2.
Set Fire to the Rain.
Huge. Set Fire is not a huge radio hit.
Hello.
Not a huge radio hit. Not a huge radio hit.
All right, so she's selling albums based on her looks, apparently. Top 10, Adele,
I
no
love
questions asked.
Billie Eilish, Bad Guys.
I like this song.
Great song.
Should not be ahead of Adele. Good
She's
song.
a good artist. Really
song.
good artist. Highline Bling, that
A
was a
lot
good
of
song.
Drake songs on here. A lot of Drake songs. A little too many.
We Belong Together. I forgot that was
I thought
21st
this was
century.
Taylor Swift.
Look, a famous Cuban's in the background. Faison Love.
He's Cuban?
He's Cuban. He was born in Cuba.
Ha!
In Cuba.
Shout out to Face. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. This is
Eric Roberts.
she was a little washed up in 2005.
Yeah.
B.O.B. good song. Probably go with Hey Ya there, just because of the
Gasolina,
crossover.
Probably 14 is a nice ranking.
Yeah.
Great. Best reggaeton song ever.
I'm snoozing on this choice.
Sis is overrated.
Not for me. By the way, a certain unnamed family member of someone on this show cornered me and was very upset with my takes on the Strokes.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna.
Last Night should not be in the. It should not. Reptilia is a much better Stroke song, and I'm glad that this Rolling Stone article identifies the fact that it owes everything to
American Girl. It's the
American
same beginning.
Girl.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
But it was a game-changing song for rock music.
This wouldn't be my choice. It's definitely an interesting song, a
Yeah.
different style, good song. Number 11 song of the century. Come on.
Shout out to Bad Bunny for really upgrading his look, by the way.
This is when he was dropping some of his best stuff, though. That's when he had Chambea. Holla. This one,
one of the most beautiful love songs ever. One of my favorite songwriters of the 21st century, Frank Ocean.
I see him on every list. I've never listened to one of his songs.
You haven't heard this song?
I might have heard it out of the corner of my ear, but this guy's top 10 on every list, and I never heard it. Like he didn't do anything.
Beautiful gay love song.
If he walked down the street, I wouldn't see him.
Gorgeous gay love song.
Britney Spears, Toxic. Okay.
You love the Swedes. They produced that.
Isn't this just a bass line?
Idiotech is a great song.
Isn't it just a bass line? Oh no, that's a different song. That's on.
That's the national anthem.
That's the national anthem. What is this about?
Idiotech.
It's like ChatGPT. I asked for the top 100, and they gave me the same song. I never heard
You've never heard Idiotech?
No one's heard Idiotech.
Pete, have you ever heard Idiotech? No one's heard Idiotech.
No one's heard Idiotech.
I haven't heard any of these people.
We're almost done.
Kendrick Lamar. Okay.
Wrong Kendrick song. Great.
Robin. This isn't even the top.
That's a great choice.
This isn't even a top 10 Swedish song.
That is a great choice. No, deserving. Properly rated. Robin Dancing on My Own. Properly rated.
The Swedes have written every pop song of this century. And this song is the one that choose.
Robin is a tremendous artist. I will not have you disparage her.
She's good, she's solid, but that's not there.
This song is garbage.
Yeah, Taylor Swift, you got to put something. This should be number 1 of the rock.
White Stripes,
definitely the best rock song.
I think White Stripes, Seven Nation Army. You can make an argument should be number 1.
Crazy in Love. You know the sample is the whole song. She's just talking over it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not better than Seven Nation Army.
No.
All right, just 2 more. Chat. Maps, beautiful song.
Way
Love
too
that.
high.
Not higher than. Look, it's not even Date with the Night. I prefer that yeah song over Maps.
Let me get your freak on Missy Elliott, number 1 song, which has been said by no one. I like the song. No one in history has ever said
the answer. Seven Nation Army. Sorry to put you through that, Pete.
So explain this to me. Talk about the Africa Yugoslavia test. Ignition Remix is not one of the top 10 songs.
I'm not doing this
of the top 10.
I had a feeling it was going to get back to pardoning
so
R.
no
Kelly.
Adele.
I'm not doing
Adele.
I'm not doing the Pardoning R. Kelly show. I'm not.
let's be real. Let's call balls and strikes. Let's not make a statement, guys.
I'm not doing the
Let's send it to the ABS system.
Can we both walk off at the same time?
I'd let you get away with the Michael Jackson one, but I'm not doing the R. Kelly show again.
Let's call balls and strikes.
I'm not doing it.
Send it to the ABS system. Send it to the video, the automatic balls and strike system. Let's not make a statement.
It's the best remix of all time.
Now we're talking. Now we are talking.
But let's just avoid the R. Kelly conversation. All right. It's been a long enough show. Yeah.
Sports saying, where's the country? We'll do a whole playlist. We'll talk about some Waylon. We'll talk about some Merle. We'll talk about some Hank Sr. We'll get that one next show. El Rico, thank you very much. Mike is out of here. Appreciate you all. Go Canes, baby.
Canes.